Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to NUFC Talk TV. It's Friday. Friday. It's Wednesday, the 5th of November. It's bonfire night. I am hoping there's going to be lots of fireworks going off tonight. So here we go. We'll catch you in a minute with all the team news and everything else. See you soon.
The time is now.
Well, here we are. I hope the fireworks are going to start off for us tonight because, like I say, at the minute, Andy's the same. It looks like it sounds like Dunkirk out the back of me at the minute. So apologies for any background noise. I have tried to reduce any of the sound in the background, so fingers crossed it doesn't spoil your view. It's me and Andy tonight, Andy Bokey with you, giving a live kick-by-kick watch-along of the Newcastle Athletic Club Bilbao game in the Champions League. The fourth match is virtually halfway house, and Newcastle aren't doing too bad. Yeah, aren't doing too bad. So we're going to crack on with the show, like I say. I'm going to do the housework now, and then we'll just have a brief chat, talk about the teams. 2 changes, if you class it as a change. So let's see what we've got. So welcome to everybody watching across all of the platforms. Thanks to everybody in the background that work tirelessly, do a cracking job. Don't forget, people out there in viewerland, please smash that like button for us. It certainly helps us get further as a channel to other supporters. If you just subscribe, these things are totally free, cost you absolutely nothing, but again, supports us going further. If you want to share, do that too. We're trying to give you so much content at the moment. Hit that bell for future content, like I say, because 30 minutes before we go live, always live, never edited, you'll get notification to say that we're going live. If you want to give us a little bit more support, you can become a member for a monthly fee. I'll put my teeth in a minute. 1 level to choose from. So if you could be so kind and you can afford to do so, I know it's that time of year where pennies become tight, but if you can give us that little bit of support, that'll be fantastic. If you've got a question during the show, put a Q in front of it. Not guaranteed, by the way, to be mentioned. So if you do want to guarantee it, then throw us a Talk TV super chat. Use the $sign, follow the instructions, and that'll guarantee that message read out. And anybody that becomes a member during the show, or any of our beautiful members out there that gift them, always highlighted as we go. And like I say, if you want to, you can still come on board and participate in the prediction league. If you can predict the Newcastle scores at the moment, then you're a better man than me. But there, you can still come on board. It's up to you. £5 entry fee. You do get a prize in the top 6 if you get there. How are you, mate? Are you good?
I'm good, mate. Yeah, I want this to be a remember the 5th of November day. You know,
absolutely.
We've got to smash this team. We've all got to just get behind the lads. I know there's talk in the chat about the team and everything, but however, it's a team that's chosen. Now we'll get behind them and we'll go for this victory.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Again, I can't not go with every word you've just said there. The thing for me, when you look at our lineup, and like I say, we'll go through it really step by step, if you like, in a second. I was looking at, like I say, in the background, I had the 94 match on. We started like a train. I remember, real fox down that right-hand side. Hence, I'm wearing this shirt tonight because for me, it brings back so many lovely memories. We saw how tearful Win was last night. Motion. I mean, you can imagine what he's like out there. I have got a couple of some vids of Win he sent us, so we'll be playing them soon. I'm sure everybody's jumping for joy with that. But again, I think tonight we've got to put all the sentiment behind us. There's a job to do, and these lads have to turn up. I think that is the thing. It's, all the excuses for me now, whether like I said, Eddie was using a little bit of a curveball when he come out with his statement about he doesn't want all the team to come down with this mystery bug. I think that was just a way of probably defending the poor performance. Didn't quite work, I don't think. So, like I said, 2 changes. We're going to get through it in a minute. But do you believe, are you in the same wavelength with that regarding the sentiment? We know we've got a great relationship with these guys, but surely it's job to be done today.
Job to be done, but I think at this point, when you're in a match day situation, we'll all just get behind the lads and show them 100%. With the start of the game, it's going to be an exciting one, hopefully. It's going to be a good game. These aren't a bad team, so let's not expect it to be a rollover. But with us, and especially with our crowd at home, I think we could. I think we could really, really set these the night, and hopefully we've said it all season. This sets you up for a role that we're going to go on, and we're going to we'll win now. If we get this win, we'll win at the weekend, and it goes into an international break. I know I've been a naysayer so far, but if we do that, then it sets you up well for the season, especially with the players we've got coming back.
Yeah, you're right, matey. Blessing Wind sent me some stuff, so I'm going to put this on. This is quite good actually because I can get them both on the screen. Hopefully, you guys can see exactly what I see, which isn't always the way when I put it on the share screen, and it's not. So I'm going to go on my usual. Let's have a look at obviously the 2 teams then. And this is, like I said, it's an interesting one because when you look at Athletic Club, we thought Valverde was going to be a little bit defensive. I thought he was going to probably play a 5 at the back and try and make it really frustrating. But I suppose they're in a bit of a perilous position now. Only I think it's 3 points in the Champions League. They need to get results now. I say we're halfway stage, and for me, like I say, I think going on the break, there's a couple of players that I like in the Bilbao side, and we'll have a look at them in a second. But what's your thoughts on the Newcastle side then? Because when I looked at this, I'm like, oh crikey, we knew there was a potential that Trips will come straight back in for Kraft because there's nobody else available. So Trips jumped straight back in. Burn, obviously, we questioned whether Alex Murphy would be involved in the squad of some description because under 21s playing this afternoon, unfortunately going down 3-2 to Atletico. There's no Alex Murphy in the squad. I did question in the chat, would he be involved in tonight's senior team? He's on the bench. But for me, we talk about the why partnerships develop, the why partnerships evolve. We know Trippier and Murphy have got a really good understanding, work really well. It's nice to see Bruno back, if I'm honest with it. I'm hoping he's completely over his illness. But what about Trippier and Barnes? Not really seen anything electric from these two as a pairing regarding the gives and goes, the following and running in behind, and obviously the same down the left. And I think that has been one of our major problems. It's about what relationships are being made, left and right wing, if you like, with the overlaps of our midfielders, the overlaps of our fullbacks, if you like. Not creating a lot, are we?
No, I think running through the team, I mean, there was the argument to put Ramsdale in goal, but I understand why he's chose Pope. I know people will pick up on the weekend's result and the issues that we had, but Pope is his number one, and I can't argue. I agree with that. Bringing Trips back in is a no-brainer. Burn it right, left back is right. It's what we have to do at the minute. You can't chuck a young lad in there. All I would say is just make him defend a little bit more, but no problem with that whatsoever. The couple of positions that you've picked up on is one's Joe Linton, and I think I probably would have brought Ramsey in for him.
Yeah.
I think at this point Ramsey needs a chance, and Joe Linton isn't playing brilliantly. And I'm a bit surprised with Barnes on the right wing.
Yeah.
Murphy's done really, really well. He's been with top scoring winger. He's been with best winger. But as I say, you go. We went with Eddie's went with the team. We'll back that team 100%.
Absolutely. Like I said, it's about building relationships, and for me, this is still obviously it's not going to stay. So there's no point in really looking at this in depth because we know Bernie's only sat in there covering Hull and obviously Tino when he's back. And like I say, you put another midfielder in here that's still trying to work the Eddie way, if you like, the Eddie Howe way. Does that create more of a problem? So I can understand him going with his standard three here because of what he's got either side of them. And like I say, I've not seen anything from Trippier and Barnes when he's played together. And hopefully we can start to see some nice technical triangles, some overlaps, some gives and goes into the spaces, into the half spaces, and put these guys under pressure. Because, like I say, when you look at their setup, and I mean, the player, again, I don't really know a lot about Athletic Club, but the one player on this team that I do like is Berringer. He's a good winger, good controller of the ball, likes to attack. He's got a bit of pace. So again, Navarro on the other side, not somebody you can snip at. So, Dan Burn, like I say, up with Berringer on his tail, he's got to be careful because, like I say, he's not a prima donna. He's a good player, so you've got to get on top of him. And I believe these guys, Vesga and Jeregiza, if that's how you pronounce his name, and apologies if that's completely wrong. I think instead of the 4-3-3, I think you'll see more of a 4-2-3-1. With these two sitting a bit deeper, Rigo will go just a little bit more advanced in the I8, probably not as close to the 10. And you'll see Gomez again just working the channels and Rigo just following off the diagonals. So I don't think it'll be a 4-3-3. I think it'll be more a 4-2-3-1. But proof will be in the pudding. Just having a quick look at what we've got, like in the substitutes side of things. We've got Ilanga, Hall, Kraft, Miley, Murphy, Jacob Murphy, Asula, Ramsdale, Ramsey, Shaw, Thompson, and Willock for Newcastle. And in for Athletic Club, we've got Garazabel, Jairo, Izagir, Laporte, Lecu, Padilla, Galarreta, Santos, Sereno, Sanchez, and Sanchez. And trust me, you're just going to have Atletico Club tonight. You're probably not going to be able to get my tongue around some of them. Match officials for tonight is Ivan Gruzliak, Fadeo San, and Branislav Hanka. And obviously the assistant referee is Jan Poser, Kralovic, and Dankert. So there you go. That's tonight's team news, if you like. It's hit or miss to a degree when you look at that, and I think that is the thing, isn't it? Some people are going to go with that and say, "That's fantastic. I'm really happy with that." Me, I'm not sure whether we've got enough spark in that midfield. If I'm honest with you, and again, I don't think it's a case of what they're going to give us. I think it's what we can do to them. And I think we're a little bit static in that middle of the park. We've seen it far too often this season. And I'm hoping today they can start to perform really well beyond the lines. So go on then, mate. I'll let you have your penny's worth because I've got. I think we'll pick up on that.
Firstly, I hope some of them substitutes come on because I can't wait to hear your commentary. What's name?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to have a drink, more than one.
The second thing is as well, Eddie's chose the team. We'll back Eddie 100% because it's a match day and you have to, and that's exactly what we should be doing. And we've got to think this team will win. I understand what you're saying with the midfield, and it wouldn't have been my choice. And after the game, if it's an indifferent result, then I'll probably pick up on it. But at this point, I agree with what Eddie's done. He's picked the team that he thinks is best to win this game, and that's what we've got to believe in. And on a match day, I've never ever been one to come out and say anything bad about players or anything about that. For me, we'll get behind them 100%. I know, as I said, there's a lot of call-outs to Dan Bird. We'll get behind that lad 100%. Everybody has to be praised and pushed forward, and we've got to be up for the game. and the crowd has to be up for the game, and that has been a slight issue in some cup games. So let's hope tonight to under the lights at St James's Park, we all know what type of atmosphere that can be. So let's just hope it's a massively big atmosphere, and we'll go out and get the result that we all want.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. I totally agree with you. I just think, like I say, we have had far too much in the way of getting the result. I'm going to have some of Mighty Wins videos coming your way very soon. You'll be glad to hear, I'm sure. Where are we? Let's get that one on first because he's got Rolo with him. Rowley, I should say, not Rolo. He'll do me for saying that. Here we go. This is Mighty Win with Rowley, the first one of a couple that he sent me.
Hey, Mighty Win at Bally's here. And look who I've bumped into. No one and only Rowley, who's managed to get a ticket today, courtesy of Paul from TTO. So well done, Paul TTO, getting Rowley in, mate. So we're just talking about the possible lineups and what we want. Obviously, we haven't seen the teams yet. So, Rowley, you were saying you want to see Ramsey in?
Yeah. I think it gives us a different emphasis going forward to Joe Linton. He's been quite poor. I think it's Paul's call, and I'll just take that call. Right?
Yeah. Oh, 2 seconds.
Sunday, everybody was poor.
Well, not all.
I think. Yeah, I think you're looking at Ramsey. They've said that Murphy suffered with a bit of this bug that's going round, so maybe Elanga to start.
Well, you're saying Elanga. Funny enough, I've just been talking to my son, and he's saying, listen, if Murphy's under the weather, why not give Asula a chance in front of... So that'll be playing the 4-4-2 with just the one winger.
I can't see that happening.
And you can't. Would you fancy it happening?
I'm not sure.
So you would rather see Elanga?
Yeah, I think Elanga will come good. I think it's that transition period from coming to us, because it happens to everybody. It took Gordon half a season to get going. It took Hall the best part of a good season going. Tino took a while to get going. Everyone comes in, takes a while to get going. So he'll come good. It's frustrating that we're so inconsistent. 1 week or one half we can look world beaters, and then we can look a shambles like we were on Sunday.
So get a smile on your face. What's the score going to be?
2-0. 2-0 the Toon.
2-0 the Toon. Well, that'll do for me. See you.
There you go. So that's Rowley's little bit on that one. Are you worried about like the midfield? It seems as though everybody seems to be not panicking, but obviously questioning this midfield now. Have we got enough quality in behind? Where players are willing to run into the right spaces to give us the outputs. We've said, we've seen the playmakers. We've seen what they can do. Does bringing somebody like Ramsey in make us achieve more?
Gary, I think, as with the rest of the team, I think we're suffering, especially in the midfield, with not having the correct wing backs in place. So not having Hall and Tino there. And it is affecting the whole team. We've got to say that. And that's a big it's a big reason of why we are where we are at the moment. They are two massive players for, and it does affect the midfield. In regards to the midfield, it's the same midfield that we've had for the last 3 years. It's not a bad midfield.
No.
And we all know where the weaknesses of certain players are. So across the midfield, Bruno can go miss, and we know that in games. Tonali, I really can't praise enough. Even the other night when he wasn't at his best, he was still probably one of the better players on the pitch.
One of the better players, absolutely.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
Joe Linton, we know, is the one that is the, I don't want to say weaker link, but he's not though. He's the one that can be replaced and does need upgraded. And whether Ramsey's the guy to do that or not, I don't know at this point. But I do think there's an argument for starting to play that lad a little bit and just seeing how that midfield functions. I don't know what you feel.
I totally agree. I can't, in all honesty, apart from, like I say, wanting somebody who's going to throw the weight around a little bit, understand why you bring these players in. You go and spend your £40 million on bringing players in. Yes, he's had an injury issue, but unless he gets games, unless he gets match minutes, and it's not about training. It's nothing to do with that. He's got to have match minutes to get his mind sharp, because sometimes you are still a little bit lax. And he looks decent on the ball. He never looks as though the ball's away from him. He's always relaxed. He always looks, as though he's enjoying the football. It's not as if he's under pressure. But you watch some of these lads today, and literally they look, they're rigid, and everything's a rush, everything's a panic, and that's what I've liked about what I've seen of Ramsey so far. Is he takes his time. He's got that, swagger about him. Doesn't force the issue, and he's just literally trying to play the game as he sees, So it is an interesting one. And like I say, regarding, for me, the biggest thing, and again, to talk about Voltemada being subbed at half time, the pressure on him, we know we've got to wrap him up in a bit of cotton wool, but when you need a goal scorer and you take, your goal scorer off the field of play, when you're losing, when you're conceding goals, what pressure are you putting on the opposition? Are you not just taking the pressure away from them?
I completely agree, Gary. Again, I don't want to be negative before a match, so I'm not going to discuss too much about the West Ham game, but you're right. That lad's got a lot of pressure on him. Just reading in the chat there, Rasula's been removed from the bench due to injury.
Yeah, apparently his ankle is causing him some grief, apparently. So I'm just going to have a look at what Dominic Sir has written on X. Bear with me a second. Will Asula will no longer be on the bench this evening due to a discomfort in his ankle. He will be assessed further in the coming days. So there you go. Like I say, there was some talk. I got a message earlier on saying Will Asula has been struggling in training. They had a light session today, apparently. And somebody that was there watching him said that he was all over the place. Kept on, stopping, starting. Physios back and forwards on him, and so it doesn't surprise me. And like I said, we're in the Sean Longstaff situation, aren't we? And I've said all along, what's the point in having them on the bench if they've got an injury?
I'm not calling anybody out here, but in which case, if Asula was 50-50, it sounds like at best by all the reports that are coming through now, would we have been better off putting a youngster in regards to instead of a young striker rather than a young keeper on the bench? Just to help.
I mean, like I say, young Sean Neve's doing nothing wrong. Bryson was involved today. Neve was involved, and like you say, if you got that in the back of your mind and you'd seen what has happened during a light training session today with Asula, you're not going to run it off. It's not something that you're going to have an injection on and just say, let's get it sorted. We've seen, like I say, Longstaff suffered most of last season playing for us with this ankle injury. These things don't go away. They are niggling in the back of your mind, and they never, unfortunately, get to that point of how can I put it? Being fully conscious on the game. When you've got to have your full concentration for the full 90 minutes, when you're half-hearted in challenges because you don't want to create any more problems, so you're fully not committed to that game, and we don't know that. Yeah. How did Park do? He was average. Somebody's asking me in the chat there. He did okay. There was nothing really to shout about. He had, I think it was one chance that was narrowly wide. But again, he looks lively. He looks to me as though he's always wanting to drive towards the box, and I think he can bring something different. And that's what I want to see. If you were a Langer, you've been bought into this squad, you've paid 55 million for him. What good is it doing not playing him?
Do you think a little bit of it is to sort of protect him himself, because he's not? I think we both can agree he's not been playing great. A little bit of it is just to sort of get him, maybe get him a little bit more integrated. And I have watched back the games, and in regards to this, I think what Wynne was saying, and I think yourself the other night, about having Wissa up front will probably make that lad a better player, or look a better player forward. He hasn't. His strength is getting past the last man, getting forward, getting the ball into a striker. And Wissa isn't that sort of striker.
The only other thing I can think of is because of the situation with Asula being a problem, are we looking at maybe Alanga potentially coming through the middle?
Potentially. I do think through time there's going to have to be an evolution with this team and a change in formation. You know, if you want to play Walter and Wissa, you're going to have to change the formation of the team. So maybe bite the bullet and go with two in midfield. Tonali and Bruno, I don't think I'd have a particular worry with that, as long as the rest of the team was set up right for it. And yet, again, if you had the correct the wing backs in place, so you had Tino and Hall back in place, then I don't think I'd have a particular issue with that. And I do think that obviously, from if you look at the signings he was trying to make during the summer, Gary, I do think that's his way of thinking as well for evolution. I think he does want to go more with not two up front necessarily, but a 1 and a 1 rather than a 4 across the midfield and then a 1 and a 1 up front, or technically a 3 and a 2 probably.
Yeah, is that live crowd noise, says Christina. No, it's really it isn't. It's just Chris has this little background noise on, and some people love it, some people actually hate it. So we can only just hear it in the background. So I'm hoping it's not causing too much of a irritation to those that are watching. But it's not the crowd. It's not the live crowd. You know, for me, when I look at, you know, we know that Elanga played up top for Manchester United when he was there, didn't really rip any trees up, hence they moved him on. And to be fair, very similar to where you've got J7, you know, not a natural finisher, so you go and find another position. And because of his pace, he's always been utilised on the wing. And obviously, the way Newcastle play, we've spoke about it so much. When Elanga plays, even when Asula plays on that right side, Asula seems to want to make something go. You know, he does his step overs. He always seems to be in control of the ball. Now, you know, I've just seen somebody put in the chat there about, you know, it's 55 million waste. You know, he's just all pace and no brain type of situation. I wouldn't mind him having like Asula type games if I could see a committing the defenders, you know, either running at the defenders with a little bit of control of the ball, trying to unbalance them, you know, taking them one way, going the other, utilising his pace to get himself into a half shooting position. Because again, you know, by all accounts, again, I've not really seen it at Newcastle yet. He's got 2 good feet, can shoot with both feet, same as Asula. He's got a good left foot on him as well. I would rather him do something like that. That would give me a little bit more confidence that this lad, you know, regardless of his technical ability or whether he's not finishing or not, if he could actually go and drive at the defenders and really take them to task, that draws other players away from positions to double mark him, which should then go on to, you know, and we've seen that with Asula, where you've drawn another player over and then you get runs from players that have just been left into the zone, and all of a sudden, you know, you've got shooting opportunities coming your way. I just don't see enough of that from Elanga.
Gary, as a coach, can you tell me why are all the wingers having such issues this season? Is it just simply down to the fact that we don't have Isak there anymore and sort of
transition?
They used to play with that system, and they're not getting used to Baltimore very quickly, or is there something else there with them?
Well, I think there seems to be quite a few players void of confidence, and that seems to have gone on from the end of last year. If you look at our tail end of the season was poor. The last game of the season to get Everton, going through them pre-season, we've not really hit the high notes, and it seems as though certain games spark that attitude of the players, and that literally could be it. And it's common to know when you go out on a field of play and you're playing a lesser opposition, the drop-off is very concerning. Because, like I say, if 2 or 3 can drop off, you've still got the rest that are, if they're up for it, then you can still challenge. But when you've got the West Ham situation where there's a drop-off literally across the board, and again, this is what I'm saying, are they going into these matches knowing Wednesday's coming up, which is a very important night, and they're not 100% committed to that game? And that's, I always say you're leaving a little bit in the locker. And that was just the way we used to talk back in the day when we were playing. It was like, when you don't leave nothing behind, don't leave nothing in that dressing room. Take it with you on the park, commit to the cause, and get the result. Because unless everybody's on that mental block, and unless everybody's driving for the same thing, it's like I said, it seems very much a tactical situation where Anthony Gordon runs inside. And then you've got, the Lewis Hall runs on the outside. If Anthony Gordon goes on the outside, Lewis Hall or Tino will play on the inside left position. It's a standard setup that Newcastle play, dominant down the left-hand side. And what they do then is they eke the position on that right-hand side. And when I say eke the position, it's the pendulum football that then comes backwards. If there's no out on that left, they'll look up and have a look. And again, the amount of crosses, quality crosses we've had in the middle of the ball, in the box this season has been lacking. I'm not going to say it's not been there, but it's been lacking. It's been more luck than judgment. There's no crosses with pace. There's no zip on the ball. It's very much a bit of a lofty. Then it becomes a 50-50 for anybody that's challenging for the ball. So what's been missing for me is the fact that when you've got players that aren't suited to the system, the tactic, then you have to change. Then you have to go with, like, you made a valid point, people out of position. And like I said, the problem is when you finger point one individual, he's only playing to what the gaffer's asked him to play. It's like I said, we all work in different environments. My gaffer tells me to go and do a job, even though I might question it, because I may not be completely suitable to do that job, unless obviously it's well out of my skill range. Then I'll hold my hand up and say no, because I was dealing with patients every day. But if it was something that I could feel as though I could do it, might not be necessarily as good as the person I was replacing, but I can still do it within my skill set, then I'll have a go. And that's where performance levels drop off. But what worries me is the fact that even when these players have been fit and available, have we still had the output and the necessary goods from the players that are playing, i.e. the Gordons, the Harvey Barnes? And we saw with Harvey Barnes being in the side for 3 games when Gordon got suspended, wasn't there. But he was just becoming a father. So again, you have to ask yourself, was it the right thing to still play him, knowing full well that his mind is obviously on his missus and his newborn baby, because he just wasn't involved in any of the games. So again, what we I think sometimes we fail to do is realise these guys are human. They're not robots. You can't just tap in a couple of buttons before they start and expect 100-mile-an-hour football and everything to be precise. Actually, events in their everyday life affects everything they do. Go on, mate. I'll let you do that one.
No problem.
That was from Wazza. Thank you, mate.
So drop-offs started post-cup when, we've done it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Was it Warren? You're kind of right in that we have had a drop-off since the cup. I mean, people keep reminding us that we did have to go on a 9-game winning streak after that, and we did. But I don't think there was any great performances in that streak. But at this point, but we don't need to be sort of looking at things like that. We need to be being positive about the team and trying to get them to move forward. So yes, we have had a drop off. We all know that. We can all see what's happened over the last few months. But at some point, we need this to come right. And if it doesn't, then unfortunately, what happens. But we don't want to discuss that before a match. We need to be positive, and we need to be all about the team. It's a bit like Burn. There's a lot of people in the chat on about Burn. I agree, but in regards to that, as Gary would say, who else do you play, and what else do you do with them?
It's like, even he's held his hand up and say he didn't have a great game against West Ham. But I'm going to shout 90 Steely here because, like, obviously he's saying Bernie's not told to fly up the pitch all of the time, and we all know he ain't got the pace to get back. And when he does go forward, all he does is push and foul people and should be told to stay back. Well, I'm not being funny. That sounds very similar to 2 or 3 players that we have in the side. But for me, when you see a player repeatedly doing exactly the same mirror effect, and again, you go back and watch it. I'm not just talking off a script here. You go and watch Tino. You go and watch Lewis Hall. They're all doing exactly the same job. They all do exactly the same tactic. And that's what I said. When you've got a player coming into the side that hasn't got the pace, hasn't got the technical ability, hasn't got that low centre of gravity, if you want to call it that, to not look awkward. He's had moments of fantastic, work, nice little flick-ons and things like that, but he looks totally unorthodox in his situation. And you could say that for the same for Wolfie. But because of his size, the way he controls the ball, the way he delivers the ball to the players around him, you do gasp sometimes because it's something you don't expect. He just does something. For me, he just brings a totally new approach to the game. And yes, maybe that is the issue. Maybe the fact is we are still trying to work within a new scenario. An actual fact, what probably surprises most of our lads is the fact that we've got somebody now up front who can hold the ball up for us. Usually we're on our back foot knowing full well it's coming straight back at us when it was Rat up front because he was weak, and that's another thing. How many times have we been caught out on transition because of giving poor balls away? Now, when you work on a transition, it's everybody move. And again, you've heard it from umpteen different players. The gaffer gives them a point of where they all press, and it's going to be a certain set of play. A player they'll highlight that's probably the weaker of the passers within the squad, and then from there everybody will just hound, if you like.
Yeah.
Doesn't always come off though.
But as I say, Gary, before a game, it isn't a time to call. You're not, and I understand you're not, but it's not a time for us to start calling these things out. We need to get behind the players. So whatever Byrne's being taught to do in this game, we need to get behind what he's been taught to do and go with it. And hopefully we'll absolutely go out and smash these and that this is a really positive result. Yeah. As I say, after the game, we can have discussions about players, about game management, things like that. But before the game, we need to just need to be all positive. And in the chat, I understand what you're all saying. But at this point in the day, we're all Newcastle United fans and we need to get behind that team.
Absolutely.
There's another super chat just came as well. I won't have a bad word said about Bogey. Be kind. Completely agree, was I? Completely agree, mate.
There you go. This is Mighty Win when he heard the team news, so we'll listen to the Mighty.
Well, we've seen the team now, haven't we? Unbelievable, I would say. Unbelievable. For no other reason than that, still got 2 keepers on the bench. It boggles the mind, to say the least. And then we're preferring Barnes at right wing to now. If Murphy's under the weather, fair dues. But if he's under the weather, why is he on the bench? Or do they think they can get, maybe it's 20 minutes later on? Or, as my compatriots just been saying it now when we saw the news, is he going to do a game of two halves? Flat out first half and a load of changes in the second half. But that team on paper, by the way, is absolutely first class. Despite Dan Burn being at left back, he's the best we've got there without a shadow of a doubt, although young Murphy is on the bench this time. But that back four, the supposedly one of the best midfield trios in the league, is there. And then we've got Barnes, Voldemort, and Anthony Gordon. Now then, could it be that where I was saying to Rowley earlier on, maybe put a Sula on to play in front of Voldemort as opposed to hugging the wings? Maybe is that what he's going to do with Barnes? Tell him to get inside and not hug the right wing. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting, but I still think it's a good team. It's a very good team, and it's a team that should be beaten an injury-ravaged Bilbao. So we will see by 10 o'clock whether it actually does that or whether it doesn't. Catch you later, guys.
There you go. The lovely mighty win on the chat there, giving us his thoughts as always. Again, you know, I think what he said there about Barnes is exactly what I anticipate. You know, he'll play close to Voltemada, probably sit in the half space on the diagonal, very much the way Murphy's been playing. We know Harvey Barnes can shoot with both feet. I have no problem with Harvey Barnes playing there. If I'm honest with you, I prefer him playing inside left or right rather than out on the wing, because I don't think he's got the pace to beat a player down the line. And again, I think with Harvey Barnes, from watching him years ago, again, he's a confidence player. If he doesn't beat you on the first one, sometimes he does withdraw from the game a little bit, and you don't get that output. It was interesting, you know, because 2016, when Leicester won the Premier League, they won it. Obviously, Ranieri won it with them, playing a 4-4-2. And it was a fluid 4-4-2. I think he was, well, I know he is the last manager or coach to win the Premier League, playing a 4-4-2 system. But when you watch the games, it was very rare you would see a 4-4-2, if that makes sense. It was very much a system where you could play with itself, and it was always, obviously, Vardy was the out. You know what I mean? He was the ball over the top, just pure pace. And what they used to do was tuck in very similar to the way Newcastle do, with a 4-5-1 scenario when they're dropping into a mid to low block. No reasons why Newcastle can't do something similar. You're on mute, buddy. You're on mute. You're still on mute. Your mouth's going, but I can't hear you, boss.
I'm just saying, sorry, that's me. Can we just pick up on Warren's super chat again there? Gary, I could make 6 really top teams out of the top 6 teams with players moving around the top teams. I don't quite know what he means, but...
Well, I mean, I suppose it's like I said, you know, with the amount of... Aaron Cantley saying Barnes should be starting left wing and Murphy or Alanga should be starting right. And I think that for me, it's like I said, if the one thing that I would have had a go at now, I would have had a go at having a natural left footer, which we haven't got in the side. You know, Alanga's a pure right footer, even though he plays with his left. Apparently, I would have a go with Alanga on that left-hand side. What difference is it going to give you? You know, what has Anthony Gordon given us apart from running inside? You know, so throwing a little bit of a curveball out there sometimes, it can create major problems for you because none of the lads are used to that pace on that left-hand side, the way he can get in. but it can also upset the opposition, because the gaffers on the opposition will have a set piece coach working, a tactical coach working a defensive strategy about a surmised 11 that they're going to face. And it's exactly the same as what they've done with us tonight. Knowing Dan Burns is potentially going to be left back, let's go and put somebody with a bit of pace against him. It's got a bit of skill about him, and work the system. And that's what you do as a coach. I believe, and I'm not 100% sure, because like I say, I don't watch him all the time. I think Berenger's a left winger rather than a right winger, but he's played on the right today.
But Gary, this is a team that Eddie Howe's put together. Can I ask you, as a coach, would you ever put yourself in a situation where you had 4 wingers and not one of them was left-footed?
Listen, I was the only left footer in my league. So left footers are very rare, mate. And that's why I said, even moving across from being a natural right footer, moving across from right centre back to left centre back comes with a challenge. Yeah. Because you automatically want to go. And if you have a look at Chow's tackle, which wasn't a penalty, he led with his strong foot, which looked unorthodox. It didn't look right, because your standing foot's your left, which is what you would do, normally tackle with.
Literally do.
So to get natural balance throughout your side, it'd be nice to have the right side all right footers and the left side all left footers to get that natural balance. The problem is then you just don't get that, because, like I say, left footers of quality, and that's why I'm putting myself at left back in the changing room, because unfortunately left footers with quality are a rarity, and that's why now inverted wingers seem to be the go-to, if you like. And the right side is always going to be that natural winger, somebody who's going to get down the line and try and get through. The left side is always the inverted winger that's going to come onto their strong foot and try and work. My problem is the fact that, out of all of them that are coming onto their strong foot, Barnes is your man, because at the minute Gordon gives you no output whatsoever, and that's what I'm saying. You can't have Harvey Barnes, who can score goals. He seems to be the only one in our winger bracket that seems to have the ability to score goals, and that's no discredit to Murphy, because at the minute Murphy, I don't class Murphy as a winger, and I know that sounds really crazy, but I've never seen him as a winger, because he likes to play in that inside position, again, just working the edge of the 18-yard box, and he'll work himself on the angle. And again, a player who can play left or right with you saw his goal against West Ham across the keeper, and you've seen it previously where he's come inside and shot with his left to try and shape it into the far post. Doesn't always work, but he's got the confidence to have a go. But he doesn't look a natural winger for me. A natural winger is somebody who's got that pace, got that technical ability. Somebody like a Nico Williams, who would have seen tonight if it wasn't for injury. He's an exciting player.
Do you think Eddie's long-term plan is to have the likes of a Gordon and a Murphy or Barnes, whoever plays right-hand side, slightly more inside, and because you've got 2 young and fast and brilliant fullbacks, they're the ones that give you the width? Do you think that's sort of his long-term plan of what he wants to do with this team?
Well, again, I'm looking at this team now, and I'm questioning what the long-term plan is, because it looks very much as though we're buying players for buying players' sake at a minute, and again, no player's a gimme. No player can walk into any side and say, I could play for anybody. Certain tactics, certain styles of football just don't suit. And maybe that is the issue. Maybe the fact that Newcastle's style of football, because it's so pacey, because it's so on the front foot, if you like, pressing high up the field, doesn't suit Elanga. And that's not discrediting him. It's just a team that he's come to that play a different style of football. And by the time we win the ball back in that final third, there's very little room for him to manoeuvre the ball behind, because that space is gone that he would utilise in other teams. There's a one for you. Laurent Robert, great left foot. Yeah, absolutely.
Brilliant player.
Absolutely, one of my favourite players of all time, Laurent Robert.
How did he get so much speed on, so much power on free kicks with such a small run up?
Timing.
It was
It,
amazing. I mean, absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it was, yeah. I'd swap Gordon for Ekitike any day, but I don't think Liverpool would. Thanks, Wazza. You can do them. You can do all the super chats, Pokey.
No bother, mate.
Yeah. That was, yeah. You know what? I was talking about that the other day, Kirst, because I couldn't remember who it was on the wing because Bernard had a tackle. And they had a bit of a coming together. Like Bernard stood up to this guy, and what you saw with Laurent Robert was to welly the ball at the player, and I can't remember who it was against now. And instead of hitting the player that obviously Bernard was facing, he hit Bernard on the side of the head,
Then
and
he
it
knocked him
literally looked like he was punch drunk, and then bang, he went down. He got a cracking shot on him, absolutely fantastic shot. And again, you talk about the balls back then were a little bit not as flighty as these balls are. So you can only imagine the damage that somebody like Laurent Robert would have caused with today's ball hitting it from a dead,
You know, the
dead spot.
strange thing is nowadays, Gary, you don't see free kicks like Robert used to take now.
No,
You
not
don't
through
see
the
that.
laces.
It seems to have disappeared out the game completely. And I think it's partly down to the fact that players are deliberately not giving balls away in that position, or giving free kicks away in that position. But even when they do, you don't see that sort of a player stepping up from like 30, 40 yards and having a shot.
Yeah, I think it's more the fact that the technique has changed because what players do now, and again, going back to Ronaldo, is instep through the valve. So if you've got the right technique where you can get your knee over the ball and kick through the instep and heel part through the valve, which is the most solid part of the ball on impact, what you then get is some movement with the ball. So you don't actually get that natural bend. What they try and do is it through the valve, and then it creates a wobble effect. And
Yeah,
keepers just can't, with pace, keepers don't always pick that wobble up, and they get beaten quite easily. But it's a technique. Not everybody can do that. And it's like, for me, the one thing that I found with these balls, they're flighty. So kicking the ball through your laces, unless you can get your head over it and get it over that wall, because you're on that trajectory, if you like. I don't know. I think you're right. There won't be that many goals from free kicks, 35 plus yards, likes of Robert used to do. And I think that's more for the technique and ball today than it is anything else.
he was brilliant at it, though. I mean, I
Yeah,
know all of
fabulous.
that, but he was really, really good at that.
Yeah, absolutely fabulous. Right then, let's for the final part. Let's get rid of that because that will just confuse everybody. I am going to try my best and give you guys what I believe could be the. Well, there you go. For some unknown reason, it wasn't coming up on my screen, which doesn't help you at all. This is how I believe Newcastle. Obviously, we know how Newcastle are going to set up, but this is how I believe Atletico Club will set up. So there you go. Again, this I've penned him in. Byro's at left back. Paredes, Vivian. I think Vivian will start with the right centre back, and Paredes will be left centre back. We know Simon's going to be in goal. There's no different with that. Areso coming in at right back. Again, I think that's to obviously try and cuppa Gordon's pace, but like I say, Gordon comes inside a lot. So that's why I think they'll go with two deep midfielders to try and squash and probably compact Gordon. Obviously, you've got Berringer then on that right-hand side again. I think that's going to be competition for Dan Burn. Coming on the other side, you've got Vego again. I think he'll drop into the 6. And between the two of them, Yerageza and Vesga, they'll be into the halfway line and above to support Rigo. Navarro on the left-hand side, like I say, I think another good player. Again, I've seen him more playing as a striker or a 10 in a couple of games that I've watched him. But again, I've not seen a lot of him. And Garazetta up top, which isn't there now, is he? He's been dropped. That's the guy who I thought was going to be involved. And now they've gone with that other guy. Where is he? Oh, I haven't got him on my squad. That's why he's in the side. I'm sure he's there somewhere. Bear with me a second. You know what? I thought for a minute I'd got everything set up, and there you go. That's why we're live, because we always screw up when we need to, or we don't need to. Who is it? Oh, it's Gomez, you plonker. That's why I was looking. I put Navarro there, and it's Gomez that's up top. There you go. It's me being a plonker. So that's it. That's where I think they'll play 4-2-3-1, and I think it's going to be, I'll try and make it as competitive it is, but I still think that Newcastle have got far too much to give. And for me, tactically, I think there has to be some closing of space between these two. When he drops off, I'm hoping Trippier drops in, and Bruno, hopefully he's fit, can see Harvey Barnes running this way, Bruno carrying on his tram lines to the middle, and then obviously Trippier on the outside. And I'm hoping they can start to really play in and test Simon with some of his catching. So lads are just coming out onto the field of play. We've got 3 minutes before kickoff. It's going to be an interesting one. I am literally going to see myself quickly to the loo. If you wouldn't mind just stepping before we start, mate.
No problem at all, mate. So I think we'll probably just give you a quick rundown on the lineup for the night again. So you've got Pope in goal, Trips at right back, you've got Byrne at left back, Chow and Botman at the back. Then you've got we've put Byrne at the right hand side, and obviously normal midfield. So you've got Joe Linton, you've got Bruno, and you've got Tonali. And then we've got Byrne on the right-hand side, Gordon on the left, and Voldemort up front. Hopefully that's quite an attacking and good squad. You guys can, we can all have our own opinions about players, but I think that's probably the best team he could have played, apart from maybe Murphy at left back. Murphy at left back. Murphy on the right-hand side. But Murphy seemingly not feeling 100%, so it's a good team. In regards to the night, I think would really need to get a result. I think we will. I think this is a great team, and I think we'll do really well. Just give us a second. I'm just going to check on the chats there, see if we can pick anything up there. In regard to this, we should be winning this game, considering the injuries we have. Absolutely no excuses. I expect a reaction. I think we all do, and I think that's exactly the mindset we've got to go in with. We all need to be in the mindset that this is our team now. This is our chance, and we really have to go out there and absolutely boss it tonight.
Absolutely, mate. We all in for a good one, I hope. Like I say, please, everybody in the chat, if you could, keep the score to yourselves so it doesn't spoil it for anybody else. And we obviously will do our best to obviously give you the right players at the right time. I'm not promising, because like I say, I do get the feed all the way from America, because obviously up above me, you should have the scores as they go in above me. Like I say, and the clock should be there as well. So if you do want to follow along with the same timeline as us, there you have it. St James's Park looks fantastic under lights. I love it. I really do. It's one of them stadiums, where, especially when I was a season ticket holder, it was the night games. It doesn't matter where I was in the country, I would get to the night games. The night games are always my passion. Anyway, we are underway. It's a sky blue from Athletic Club, playing left to right as we speak. And Athletic Club are just waiting to get the show on the road. So, like
Waiting
I say,
for the
keeping the
TV to
score
give
to
it go
yourself.
ahead.
Absolutely. Here we go. We're underway. So Simon goes long. Again, just trying to search and reach, and straight away it's come down that left-hand side to Navarro. It's cleared. A touch for a throw into Athletic. Again, taken quickly. Just trying to keep it all nice and compact. Vivian now down the right-hand side to Adesso. To Barringer. Again, just giving it back under pressure from Dan Burn there. Getting a nosebleed again, high up the field. There you go. Some cover there from Botman and J7. J7 now on the halfway line. Anthony Gordon. Deflection off the Athletic player. It's a throw into to Newcastle. Halfway line. And again,
There's no surprises with the setup there, Gary, is it? It is definitely what we thought. It's exactly what we thought it was going to be.
Yeah. I mean, like I say, I'm surprised that, if you look how deep we are, because now you've got Tonali sitting in between the two defenders, which is how it should be with your 6, to give you that extra body. Popey now with the clearance up towards Dan Burn. He gets the flick on, but it doesn't get to Anthony Gordon. Does now, though. Anthony Gordon's, I don't know where you've gone.
What the hell was that?
Gordon. What? Again, that's just put us under pressure. Look at that.
That was disgusting.
Yeah. A bit of a tussle, and the referee has given a free kick. But again, why would you play a ball like that? That's like a blind pass.
Gary, it's going backwards. Hooking the ball. It's absolutely ridiculous.
It's just hoofed. There's no idea where he's playing that ball. Anyway, things can only get better, I'm sure. Oh, there you go. He's giving the ball away straight away. Anthony Gordon straight back to Athletic Club. Is it blue or is it green, that strip? It's like
I think it's like a mint green, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like an icy green.
Yeah.
From the distance, it looked blue, but now I'm looking at it on the screen. It doesn't look. The word is insipid. I think.
Yeah.
The word is insipid.
I think a mint chip.
Oh, bless. So Berringer now on the edge of the box gets it towards that back stick, I think, and it's cleared by Newcastle. It's fallen kindly to Tonali. Again, J7 having to stretch to keep that one in now. Gordon up the line towards... who's lost the ball there? Bruno again on the end of the box. Athletic. That's a ball that's been touched too hard there. No, but Vivian with a decent ball there. Berringer was in. But luckily for Newcastle, like I say, Berringer is playing on the left-hand side. Look, I thought he would do. And it's Navarro who's playing on the right-hand side at the minute. So, again, a little bit of a decoy. The way they set up their team sheet, it was the opposite way around. But Berringer is definitely left-winger.
Let's just hope this is the first few minute nerves from Newcastle, because we've lost the ball a lot so far.
We have, and it's all unfortunately come through one player.
100%.
And again, this is what I'm saying. I mean, why? Is it the fact that he hasn't got the space? Is he? You're looking at European competitions against European clubs mainly. He's got a bit of space, Anthony Gordon. Even in internationals, he's got a bit of space. He comes deep to halfway line. Defenders don't follow him. You don't get that much space in the Premier League. Is that one of the reasons?
Maybe.
Here we go. The deflection there has given it straight to Atletico, and well done to Botman because he tracked back really well there. Won the ball back, gave it to J7. Now Tonali in for Chow. Chow gives it back to Tonali. You've got Trippier on the outside, but decides to stay inside. Tonali now just feeds the ball out to Anthony Gordon, just inside the Athletic Bilbao half, and it's a deflection again. Anthony Gordon trying to run the player down the wing, failing this time, but does get the throw in. Burn now to Botman. And again, no press this time from Athletic Bilbao. They are just allowing Newcastle to play the ball in their own half. Chow out to Trippier. Trippier sees the run of Harvey Barnes. It's a decent ball, but again, just a little bit too much on it, and it's out for a goal kick to Athletic Club. Nice idea. Just didn't give the right pace on that ball.
He was onside as well. That was actually...
Yeah, good run.
Good run from him.
Very good run. Again, that's where you need Elanga's pace, isn't it? I'm not saying that you would have got that, to be fair. I don't think if you were a greyhound chasing out of the traps, you'd have got that.
I don't think Usain Bolt would have got that.
Yeah, Usain Bolt. You'd been like that. Oh, I love it. Long ball from Simone down to the halfway line. It's the School of Pope kicking. Oh, yeah. Berenger's holding his nose there. Is it me, or does he look like, oh, God, that Liverpool player? Oh, the forward. Fowler. Robbie Fowler.
Robbie Fowler, he does a little bit, you're right, aye. He always had problems with his nose as well, didn't he? He used to have to wear the
brace
devices to help him sleep and stuff.
Yeah. And we got Fagan having a bit of a telling to.
Bit of a
I don't know
moan.
what happened there. Yeah, he come through the back of Tonali very late on that ball. Vesga, to be fair. Again, I don't think the lads are going to get much time in the middle of the park, to be fair, to play football. So they're going to have to be on the ball. Looks like J7's being man-marked at the minute. It looks like they've looked at him as the weakest link and he's lost the ball.
G7.
Here you go. Down that line, here we go. And again, it's well tracked back, J7, but it's a corner to Athletic Club. It very much looks like every time J7 gets the ball, they're going to track him with two players. One goes tight, the other one comes in as soon as he's trying to get the ball under control. And again, it does prove that opposition coaches look at the weaker areas within a side to try and get at and win the ball back. So
I think well done there, Byrne there as well, because he was there to cover. So
yeah, the two of them did track back well.
Yeah.
Fair. Just waiting for the corner kick to be brought in. Berenger gets it into the box. It's towards the back stick. It's a free header, to be fair, from there, but it's straight into the hands of Popey. So again, that's poor marking, because he's just walked off there. I don't know who was marking him, because he's literally just walked into an open space.
It doesn't actually look like anybody was marking him.
No, he's just literally walked off from the back stick. Ball driven out to that left-hand side. But again, Trippier with a really poor, hopeful pass to nobody in the middle of the park. And then he puts his hands out. I can't understand that when a player makes an obvious error and then blames somebody else. Ball's out for a goal kick to Newcastle. Your thoughts then, mate, in the first few minutes? A bit not what we anticipated.
No, I thought we would be completely on the front foot, and we haven't been. It's been all Bilbao, to be honest. They've been really good. We've helped them by giving the ball away quite a bit, but I think, Jesus, not again. I think we just need to maybe have a little bit of controlled possession, so maybe just calm things down a little bit.
The thing is, they're hunting in the packs for our midfield. Every time one of our midfielders gets the ball, you've got the three lads just. Oh, that's a good ball for J7. If he gets that, he's got it under control. J7 is in the penalty box. Shoots!
Yes!
Oh, he's offside. He's offside. That was a cracking ball as well over the top.
That was a really, really good ball.
J7 going on a bit of a run there from that middle section.
Is he off? Oh, he is.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, slightly.
Yeah, I tell you, it's just. But what a great ball that was.
It was.
Was that Chow? Malik Chow?
Yeah, if you still had that daylight rule, would have been fine there.
That was a fantastic ball, and well done, J7, because he brought that down beautifully and took it away really well, to be fair. All very smooth, that. But like I say, what a pass from Malik Chow.
What a ball.
Oh,
that was a shot leg ball.
Out, yeah. Shot at goal, but it's blocked by Botman. Dan Byrne with the reverse pass up to Voltamada. Voltamada with this close control gets it out to Tonali. Well done, son. And again, Tonali not given any space whatsoever. Paredes this time gets a tackle in.
Gary, I think one thing that's obvious from the kickoff is that we need our players to keep their heads in it, because they are going to be constantly pushed and probed from the back. We don't need any of them losing their heads.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that is it. Don't get rattled.
Yeah.
Keep the cards in the referee's pocket. You know what I mean? That's the way. Keep it steady. But you know, for me, Bilbao have come out and there's no fear at St James's Park, and they are feeding off some of our mistakes. To be fair,
Hopefully that's the last of the mistakes.
fingers crossed. It's free kick to Newcastle out on that right hand side. Trippier puts the ball down, looking to angle one in towards that back stick. I would imagine the big lads are all at the back there, all being pushed offside. I love that. Ball floated in. There's a chance here for Dan Burn.
Yes! What a goal, lad!
What an absolute beauty! That is what you want to see Dan Burn do.
Gary,
what a goal that is.
Dan Burn having to push for one more. That was brilliant.
Fantastic. That was a stunning header. What a header that is. I mean, did you see the shape of that ball in towards the back stick?
That's better than the final goal that for him.
Oh, it was, absolutely.
Yeah, that was a mere... Watch where he comes from.
That's a fabulous header.
Look at
the shape of that ball.
Honestly, I don't think, probably at St James's, I've seen a better headed goal than that.
No, mate. Because that was literally... Well, I mean, you know, when you look at that, because it looked like it was going wide, then it was just the curl on the ball, that spin on the ball, just taking it into off the post.
Yeah,
phenomenal goal, absolutely phenomenal goal. Well done, Dan Burn.
Well done, Dan Burn, lad.
And that's why he's in the team. Unfortunately, we just don't utilise it enough for me, because you know it's 6'6", 6'7". You should be doing that every game. Or at least competing for balls like that every game.
After the start, that's exactly what we needed. That should
absolutely settle them down. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's exactly what we needed. A reply, because like I say, we've given the ball away so cheaply at times, and we've looked a little bit nervous. Free kick now to Athletic. Out on that left-hand side. Whipping one in now up towards Palpi, who claims that one out the air. Yeah, safe hands. Palpi decides to throw this one out. It's given to Trippier. Trippier looks up. He plays the ball over the top. We've got again, just a little bit too much juice on it there for Harvey Barnes. And it goes all the way through to Simon.
Great idea, though.
Yeah, fantastic idea. Vivian, back to Simon. Again, that's awful play. Yeah, there you go. Bit of pressure on them. Look, nobody likes that. I think that was Vega's mistake there. Kicks the ball again, looking for Vivian, and he kicks it straight out for a corner under a little bit of pressure there. And again, you know, this pep football, you don't do it unless you've got players that can. There's no point in trying to. Big Dan Burn up again. There'll be all the big boys coming in off that back stick again. I hope. One for Kieran Trippier. Again, it wasn't really a press either, was it? You know, with that mistake, it come from a half press, if you like. I mean, there was probably five yards between him and Bruno. Ball comes in from Tonali. Great ball, but again, Simon, well done, gathers that under a bit of pressure. And again, early throw out there, looking for runners. Palpi comes and sweeps and clears long. Yeah, I think that was a shot. He's got the assist. He wants a goal now. Even in shell.
Do we put that down as a shot on him? What is it? X?
On his XL, yeah, XG. Yeah, exactly. Does that increase our XG or not? Shots off target?
That's a hell of a header from Burns, man. You're watching it again.
It's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. The shape of that ball is phenomenal. It really is. The way it just bends into that side netting. I mean, you're right. I don't think I have seen a better header goal. On the angle as well. It wasn't directly in front of goal, and he heads it like back across the keeper.
It's from where he's took it from, where he's...
Yeah.
It hasn't been standing still, running into it like a short pace. He's run for a canny well and got the header on target.
He's wide of the back stick, isn't he? Yeah, he's wide of the back stick, about 12 yards out, so he's got to shape it so it's away from Simon. enough and curl as well. And he meets it beautifully. So absolutely superb. Anyway, Athletic Club on the press here. And they've got the ball out on this right-hand side. And it's gone all the way through to Boiro. Onto that left-hand side to Beringer down that left-hand side now. Beringer coming in. Decent cross in, but again, it's blocked by Malik Chow. 61% up to yet. Ball possession to Newcastle.
I don't know what you think, though, Gary. I think we maybe need to try to control the game a little bit more. We're still not really controlling it.
No, you're right, mate. I think we're still lots of huffing and puffing going out there. And again, this is something that I think Newcastle have to do well in future games, because when you're playing up against, bigger and better clubs, keeping hold of the ball and not allowing those that utilise possession well will only better your chances of going further in this competition. And I think, like I say, if we continue to play at 100 mile an hour to go and get 4 and 5 goals, I just don't think it's achievable, mate. If I'm honest with you, I think if you can slow it down and play the right football, I think that whatever the scoreline was meant to be will be, and I think it will prove, that you can play football a little bit rather than try and rush the opposition into creating mistakes and then capitalising from that. Because you can do it. I'm not saying you should take that out of your game, but I think once you go like we are now, 1 up, it's about making the ball work rather than the players work.
The one thing we don't want to do is sit back. We need to keep going and try to get the second. Oh, come on, lads.
No, you saw Voltamada there he sees Trippier on the run and he's trying to play him in, and the ball gets took off him right at the last minute, and he misplaced it. But it's a little chance there for Atletico, but it's cleared quite comfortably from Newcastle, and it's back in Newcastle possession now. Yeah, you could see Trippier down that left-hand side. He was free and flying, and I think Voltamada just saw that opportunity to play him in. And like I say, he got pickpocketed a bit. There we go. Don't get caught out there, Botman. Oh, well done. Tonali again.
Come
But
on,
Anthony
lads.
Gordon plays a give and go, and he gives it straight back. And now it's Unai breaking into the box of Newcastle. He has a shot. Saved by Popey at the near post. And it's a corner. I mean, there's the warning signs again, isn't it?
Well done, Chow.
It's just he just tries to play a simple ball. Win will be unbearable. Yeah, well done, matey. I'll put that on the screen. Thanks, Ian. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be sat next to him. Oh, he come off the post, actually. I thought it was off the...
it was off
his foot. Yeah, I thought it was off his foot. They've given it as a corner as well, but he actually didn't touch it. Anyway, it's a quick corner taken into the danger zone, but it's headed clear. And now we got Boiro, hits the post. Great shots from Boiro. Adama. Oof, he did not give that a welly. Comes back off the post from about 20 yards. Again, it's like an arrow, this is. Keeps really good shape off the ball, and again comes off the post too quick for Unai to get anything back from it. Long throw in from Atletico. It's off a couple of players, and that's going to be given as a goal kick to Newcastle. Again, a couple of scary moments, mate.
We need to get our foot on the ball here and take control of this game. It's too much end to end, and to be honest, it's probably more Bilbao that are at our end. We just need to get the ball under control and just take a little bit of control and slow things down a little bit.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I think it's like I said, it's panic stations when we're trying to defend, isn't it?
Yeah.
And there's no need. Chow now back to sideways to Trippier. Trippier's looking for Harvey Barnes, who's been a little bit quiet, if I'm honest with you. He's run onto a couple of balls, but not really been involved in this game so far. Trippier with a tackle, and it's out for a throw into Bilbao. We're in the 20th minute. Newcastle 1, Athletic Bilbao 0. Again, Bilbao just happy to give it back to Simon. Vivian goes wide to try and get it into the angles. Again, they go long up towards Unai. And again, he's backed into to Botman there. Yeah, he's given Botman a bit of a smack in the face there, Unai. Unai Gomez. Yeah, I think you could see Botman coming, and he's thrown his shoulder blade directly into Botman's face. Well, it was his back of his arm, wasn't it? So referee has stopped the play.
Yeah.
Botman's back on his feet. And we are ready to go with Tonali.
Hopefully Botman's marked his card.
Yeah, I'm sure he has. Yeah, look, Trippier comes over for this one, tells Tonali to go fourth, and he comes fifth. Anyway. Trippier now with a long ball forward, looking towards the edge of the box. It's headed clear by Atletico. It's come back towards Bruno, who gives a little nudge.
Oh, come on.
Back
You're going to give those, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I think Bruno knew what he was doing there, but he wasn't allowing anything to go there, the referee.
No.
Gordon's on a commission here to give the ball away, surely. Yeah, Andy, I totally agree with you, mate. Gordon's already on 7 losses, but his hair is nice and he reads thoughtful books. Yeah. Oh, is that what's keeping him in the side, mate? Oh, thanks. Native American. That's brilliant. I love it. Free kick. Yeah, quite a dangerous position this for Atletico. Again, the ability to whip the ball into danger areas if you let the Catalans. So, have to be on our toes here. Ball comes in. It comes in low and hard this time, but it's cleared. Again, half cleared by Anthony Gordon. Byro now, he just picks it up on the halfway line. Simon goes long, looking for that ball over the top. Dan Burn just heads it back to Pope. Again, under the challenge, though, but of Berenger. But it was well guided.
Gary, I do think we have to say that the left-hand side, but they have obviously targeted that tonight a little bit, and it's looked a lot more solid.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think it's certainly something that they look like they've worked on a little bit. But again, nice little movement here for Vivian. Ball down into Gomez. And again, Malik Chow just sees that, gets his body in front of the ball and player and sees it out for a goal kick.
Chow is one hell of a player, mind you. We've got to say that.
Yeah, when Chris was calling him, saying what a player he is, because like I say, I don't watch much European football. I did have a look at him, but again, YouTube does make anybody. I mean, he even made me look really good, and I've not even been on it. So you kind of take it with a little bit of a pinch of salt, but I must admit, apart from he looked nervous in the Liverpool game, his 15-minute cameo, he's been outstanding. I think he has been the player. I mean, I know Voltemada will take the accolades because again, another good buy for the price. But I think Malik Chow has just solidified that defence a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I think going forward, with the 2 young lads back, Tino, I think that is one back 4 that I think could make a stance for future games and future seasons.
100%. And at the minute, I don't think it matters who plays with them, it's Burn or Botman. I think both of them can step into the other side of the defence. I mean, long term, it's obviously going to be Botman, hopefully. But I don't think there's anything between the two of them.
No, I say again, a challenging ball. If somebody had read that would have been ideal. But again, that's where you need Anthony Gordon to step in field a bit. When everything goes on the right-hand side, for me, Anthony Gordon decides to stay left too much, too deep, too wide. He needs to be involved in the gameplay, and what that does then is move players around. So even if he doesn't get the ball, he still needs to get himself involved in the game. Header again from Chow up to Trippier. Trippier now brings the deflection, and it's a throw into Newcastle. Look, can you take the dog? Go on. I've got the dog sitting on my feet. Burn. Gordon on this left-hand side gives it back to Burn at left back. Back to Botman, and again Botman turns and gives it back to Pope, and again making the ball work and The athletic players are having to drop in. Chow's under a bit of pressure here, and again, he just has to kick it out. Under too much pressure there from.
But all that comes from Gordon. He could have tried to spin there or something. All he did.
I just couldn't understand what was going on, because we had loads of time, and then all of a sudden we had no time whatsoever. Yep. Because we again that touch to Pope, and Pope, you could see where Pope was going with it, and it was easy for Berenger to close him down. Good ball up towards Anthony Gordon. The first time we've seen him have a good run. Yeah. He goes to the byline, crosses the ball back towards the penalty box, and it's again picked up. The loose ball's picked up by J7. J7 now goes square to Tonali. Tonali sees Trippier on the run, gives it to Trippier on the far post. Don't know whether he was offside. Drills in! Oh! It was offside. I thought Harvey Barnes was in there, but I think the referee had given him offside anyway. I think,
good ball from Tonali, though.
Great ball over the top from Tonali. Beautiful. Yeah, Trippier was offside.
I think Tripp's offside, yeah.
Yeah, he was.
But that's the first time Gordon's been positive in this game and went forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it's the ball, it's the out ball, and that's what I said. We should utilise him in passages of play, but he has to be effective against the fullbacks. He makes it just too easy for them at times.
100%.
Voltemade just trying to get the ball under control. It bounces towards Bilbao, and Byro gives it back to Simon. Simon decides to go on the angle. Long. Again, headed clear by Chow. Up towards the centre circle. Again, contested. But it's brought under control by Bilbao. Bilbao looking for the ball over the top now, and Berridge's running on. Pope comes out to clear his lines, and he kicks it out for a throw-in. Probably in line with the penalty area, 18 yards.
Don't mind that from Pope.
No.
We know what his weaknesses are, and he's done really well there.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think, this is what the defenders rely on, isn't it?
Yeah.
Berringer on the inside run, but again loses the ball. Voltemade now on the turn. He gets a tap on the back of the heels, though. Referee's got to bring that back, surely. He has. He let play go on for a little bit there, the referee. But obviously Newcastle weren't in control of the ball. So it's played back.
Gary,
I thought there was an opportunity there.
Yeah, this is the type of game where we need the two wingers to be tight on the wings, because the middle of the field is really tight. Whereas if you look out wide, there's loads of space.
Yeah, well, we were talking about last night, wasn't it? These have a habit of literally going the parallel lines and dominating the middle of the park.
Yeah.
And you can see exactly what they're doing tonight. They're trying to stifle that midfield. But like I say, you're right. There is so much space on this left-hand side and right-hand side if the likes of Trippier utilises it. Because Harvey Barnes is playing on that inside left. Yeah. Good play, good movement there from the lads. Harvey Barnes now on the right-hand side. Digs the ball into the box. Oh, header from Voltemade, just wide. Beautiful play down that right-hand side between Trippier, Bruno. Just a give and go in a triangle. And it was, like I say, Voltemade was free in the middle. Just couldn't get enough on it.
Do you know what's good though, Gary? He's getting into these positions. It shows that he's got a striker's instinct for scoring.
Well, exactly. I mean, we've always said, what we need to start doing is latching on to them loose balls type of thing, and then working it. And like I say, working the channel really well. Decent delivery into the danger zone. Like I say, it's just a little bit too high for him. And what you had as well there is J7 on the back stick. So if he gets a flick on it, or he goes at goal and there's a save, there's every potential that J7 gets the rebound. So it's all about having the ball's gone flat. I don't know what's going on here. Whether somebody heard a pop. But that ball, the bladder has definitely gone.
This referee loves himself, mind you, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, you can see. I bet he's took him an hour to do that hairstyle. I mean, it hasn't moved. Hasn't moved. Bless him. Chow now. Trippier on that right hand side. Again, just keeps control of the ball, draws the player, then plays it back to Chow. Newcastle just slowing it down a little bit. Again, trying to control, but this is when they get worried a little bit because, like I say, it's these passes backwards. We seem to be a little bit lax in getting the ball back forward. That's a good ball from Botman into Tonali. Tonali into Byrne. Byrne down this left back. Plays it up to Voltemade. Voltemade now looking to turn. Keeps hold of the ball under a bit of heavy challenges. Gives it to Tonali. Tonali now running and looking down that left-hand side. And Tonali's got his hands adrift there. I don't know whether he saw a handball or something, but we've given the ball back to Bilbao. Ball over the top now, looking for Berenger on this ball. On that left-hand side, Berenger now, just, again, taking his time. Just trying to reboot the system, Atletico. Again, Newcastle will be happy the way they're playing at the minute because they're going further and further backwards. They're in a promising position from the start, but now they're virtually on the halfway line. Again, this system of Newcastle's. That was a 4-4-2 there that they went into. Ball over the top, and again, this should be easily collected. And again, it doesn't go into the box, so Popey does what he needs to, and that's clear. Into touch for the throw into Bilbao. Always look a bit lax, don't we? When we're in that defending third of playing the ball sharp. You know what I mean? We allow pressure from Bilbao. They close us down, and then technically, have we got those type of players that can put the foot on the ball, play the triangles? I'm dubious. Did well in that instance, but as you've seen before, sometimes we make ourselves look a little bit ordinary.
We played with self a little bit. Well, we did play with self into that issue. So by not getting the ball, going backwards with the ball and then losing it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a thing that keeps happening, and it's something that's quite easy to change. You just keep trying to play the ball forward. I think
you've got to say when you're looking at keeping possession, and I think this is the reasons why Eddie plays a system that he does, is because I don't think he understands or trusts our players with that technical ability at the back. So I think the reasons why he wants that intensity up the top is to keep the ball away as much as we can from the defensive third. And there's nothing wrong with that because you play to your strengths. You don't play to your weaknesses, do you?
But what we were talking about the other night as well around the short passing, he does seem to want to try to play triangles to get up the field. And to be honest, at the minute, it's not working.
No, well, like I say, the ball's round, your feet are flat. You should always go a lot further with the ball.
100%.
And it's easy, and that's why I said, these guys are trained athletes. They kick this ball around every day, 7 days a week. So there should be very little excuse not to be able to pass a 5 and 10 yard ball. The problem with me, and again, I hate to say it, is sometimes we don't give ourselves the right angles. Great ball that is to Anthony Gordon on this left-hand side.
Go on, man.
Anthony Gordon wasn't balanced then when he's trying to get down the wing. And again, he's putting a bit of pressure here. Again, they've not given the ball away, Bilbao. J7, Tonali now on the angle. Got an opportunity to get in the box, but he keeps it tight. And again, he gets clattered. Tonali. I think that was Weisger again.
I think my words for Gordon tonight would be so far lackluster. He's had chances to push forward and help with going forward, and he hasn't done that so far. He's always been on the back foot whenever the ball's been played to him.
Yeah, I think for me there it was very obvious that he wasn't balanced. The ball's come over. And you can see he's on the turn. He's out of balance when he's trying to run. There's no way you can run in a line quick when you've not got your balance. So it was easy then for Areso then to pick the ball up off him. But again, he played himself into a bit of problems. Luckily, Navarro then comes and gets in through the back of Tonali to give us a free kick, which Trippier is going to try an in-swinger now. Hopefully, we can see something else from Byrne. Trippier with a good ball in, but again, a little bit too much on everything there. Again, Trippier throws his arms out as if that wasn't his fault. We just didn't have the runners. He throws that in with some
And
passion.
would have need to had some hell of runners for to get to that.
Yeah, exactly. You seen where are you? Where are you, man? Gordon is too busy thinking about his next hot yoga session and meditation, says Becca.
Let's be having you.
Again, Simon goes long. Headed cleared again by Chow. Not much in the air at all today. Dan Burn contesting well there. Ball over the top for Anthony Gordon to run onto, but again, hasn't got the legs on Areso. And I think that, like I said, that was probably the reasons why Areso came in at fullback. And Dan Burn looking to get Anthony Gordon away, but again, Areso saw the danger, blocks that, out for a throw into Newcastle. Thrown quickly into J7. Tonali, J7 now. His usual spot on this wide left position. Chow. Harvey Barnes gives it back to Trippier, back to Chow, gets a touch and gives it to Botman, who's got a bit of space now to run into. Moving towards the halfway line, Botman drills a ball up to Voltemada. Voltemada drops it back to Dan Burn. Dan Burn just gives Voltemada another touch of the ball, and again, it's just all steady from Newcastle at the minute. Bruno with a nice little touch. I don't know. Again, everybody's in that midfield is man marked. It looks like Gerard Gazar is literally following Bruno all over the park. He's losing the game himself because he's so tight on Bruno. Dan Burn with a nice little instep there. Botman goes across field of play, which is a dangerous ball to be fair, but Trippier does well. Heads it back under a bit of pressure from Berenger, and it's all the way through to Popey now. Again, Popey picks up and gives it straight back to Botman. Again, just waiting for everybody to get into a shape. Dan Burn's gone quite high again. Popey gives it to J7. J7 inside to Tonali, who then flows it up to Burn, who gets back into where he was before. So again, you've got to question, what was the point? Because you've gone all the way backwards from quite a promising position if you wanted to go forward.
Gary, I know we're only 37 minutes into the game, but for me, this game's calling out for Elanga to be put on the left wing. If he'd been given some of them balls Gordon's had, he'd have whipped their right back and
chance here if get out.
Yeah, he would have whipped their left right back and sort of been through on goal. I think
that's what I said. I can't understand. Yeah, I can't understand why he's not given more of a chance on this left hand side. Just give him a go. I think Harvey Barnes has done okay in that inside right position. If I'm honest with you,
100%.
Playing the Jacob Murphy role, I think he's contributed really well. He's trying to get close into Voltemada, and if not, he's probably our most forward-thinking man at the minute. Like I say, that movement on that right-hand side is drawing all the athletic players that side. So, J7, as you just saw there, with a little bit more of a better run. This is why Anthony Gordon should have so much space to go and run into. If he was to utilise it properly, there should be no stopping him. No, but like 100%. I say, he's just not involved. He's just not involved at all. He just stays too far wide, and he's, like I say, more interested in his haircut than he is anything else.
Well, he needs a haircut.
Well, do you reckon he's put a bet on? He's not going to get his hair cut until he scores a goal. Christ, it's going to be down to the middle of his back by the end of the season.
He'd be like, was it cousin it?
Ball into the box, straight into the Pope's hands, though, from that corner from Bilbao. Again, Pope's not hanging around. It's a chance for Harvey Barnes here. He's run from his own half. Good ball down that right-hand side from Trippier. Harvey Barnes now steps inside, just waiting for some movement. Tonali gives him an option. I'm sure he was offside there, but the linesman has carried on. Ball to the inside. Oh, go on. Have a go, Anthony Gordon.
Lad.
Jesus. Yeah, he's offside.
Yeah, he was offside.
Yeah, I'm going to say, that drives me insane now. Oh, Anthony Gordon's gone down. Oh, dear. Oh, let's see what's happening now.
This poorly.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just offside.
Gary, why doesn't the linesman put his flag up at that point?
They've been told not to, you see.
I know that, but It's
Just,
ridiculous.
it's annoying, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anthony Gordon's pointed to somewhere around his groin. Oh, no. Don't move Harvey Barnes. Get a Langer on. Give him a go down that left-hand side.
Gary, this game is calling out for a Langer down that left-hand side for us. He's so fast that against
Yeah,
that...
that's what I'm saying.
Gordon's had the... I agree with you. When Gordon's had the ball, Elanga would be able to do so much work down that left-hand side. It would be unreal.
Yeah. I mean, that could be a blessing in disguise, though, you know.
What, Gordon getting injured?
Well, like I said, it could be a blessing in disguise because, like I say, the player who's looked most vulnerable for us has been Anthony Gordon.
100%. Oh, he's off. He's off.
Yeah, he's off. He's gone. That's what I said. He was pointing as if he's got it's like a down towards the top of his hip, and whether he's got a hernia or something there, I'm not sure, or he's pulled a muscle. Gordon is teacher's pet, and Eddie Howe lets him get away with anything. This will be our downfall. Yeah, I tell you, there is some truth in that with some of the teacher's pets.
Yep.
Got to be careful. I can't see how he's managed to keep his place. I'll be honest with you, in the starting 11. Because if somebody needs to kick up the backside, it's Anthony Gordon.
100%. I think what you have to worry about as well is when you watch him for England, he's a different player. So why is he not that player for Newcastle? There's two options.
What D-Man was saying last night, wasn't it? You know,
there's two options. It's either coaching or it's attitude. And I think, if I'm honest, I think it's attitude.
Go on, J7. J7's got a chance here. Go on.
Oh, go on.
No, you can't put it over from there, please, God, no.
Oh, Jesus.
How can you put it over?
It was harder to miss.
Serious. A great ball from Dan Byrne. Over the top, you've got Harvey Barnes, he's running. J7 goes up for the ball. He gets a deflection off his back. Or was it handball? Yeah, I think it was handball, you know. But it comes back off the keeper. It was handball.
Yeah.
And then he blazes it. There's an open net, and he puts it over the bar. I mean, even Eddie Howe's like looking. I think I'd have put that away. Oh, Jesus. You can understand why he was moved from the centre forwards position.
100% without.
No composure whatsoever. Oh, dear. Anyway, Bilbao on the left-hand side now, bringing the play further up the field than they've been over the last 5 minutes, but into the 43rd minute of 45, plus obviously whatever's added on. Don't think there'll be much during this first half. There's not been that many stoppages. Again, well done, Botman.
For all the call out referee, it has been quite a free-flowing game. It's been quite nice to see.
Yeah, it has. I mean, like I say, there's not. I mean, again, it's not been a dirty game at all, has it? It's been competitive. It's been very much a case of, it's been a battle, and I think the games like these do seem to fly. Botman now with the ball again, just got a bit of grass to run into. Ball over the top, looking for Bruno.
Yeah, I'd love to get this second before half time.
Oh, absolutely. Ball's come back to Tonali. Tonali brings it forward. Again, there's a bit of a tussle up the top there. I don't know what happened with Harvey Barnes, but he went down very easily. And again, a very poor pass from Atletico Bilbao. Under no pressure whatsoever. Kicks the ball out for a Newcastle throw-in. Ball's back in play. Chow to Botman. Back to Chow. Chow inside. And again, it's nice give and goes from Newcastle. Bruno trying to bring in Murphy there. Very unlucky. Again, it's a misplaced pass from Athletic Bilbao. Good early ball over to Harvey Barnes. Harvey Barnes gets it under control on this left-hand side. He's looking to bring it inside. J7, Harvey Barnes on his right foot. Gives it to Tonali. Tonali out of his feet. Looking to shoot. Gives it back to Trippier. Bruno. Again, Tonali doesn't stand still. Tonali drives it into the box. It's half cleared by Bilbao. And again, Berenger just trying to get the ball under control and bring it forward.
Poor ball by Tonali, if honest, Gary.
Yeah. What's that, mate?
Poor ball by Tonali, if honest, there.
Well, yeah, it wasn't the greatest ball in the world. I don't know what you problem is, my lad. But you're not leaving me alone today. Are you? Eh?
I hope you talk to the dog.
Yeah, I am. He's barged through my bedroom door and he's like, come and put his head on my lap. And he's looking at me with them puppy eyes. Anyway. Yeah, I know.
Just 2 minutes of added time at the end of the hair, first off.
Which is what you expect, I suppose, now in a game, isn't it? Average 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Ball on that right-hand side. Played back to Simone. Simone just goes long again, looking for Unai. It's flicked on, but again, it's easy for Dan Burn to pick that up. Plays it back to Popey. Oh, you see, Popey puts us under trouble with that ball.
He does.
Because there's a player on straight away. Trippier now trying to get down the line. He uses his shoulder well there, Trippier, to give himself a yard.
What you
again,
do
he hasn't got the post.
Yeah, what you do have to see is, again, Dan Burn in the perfect position there as a right left back. You know what I mean? He sort of, when he is defending like that, that's him at his best.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, he just dropped off there, which is, like I say, perfect, because that's what I said before. When you've got Trippier on, you know, maybe there has been a conversation, I go, you go type of thing, rather than, as you saw against West Ham, it was everybody goes. And he was like, well, hold on, where's everybody else, you know? And it was a bit meaty, I must admit. Dan Burns starting to run forward again. He gives it to Bruno's first touch was awful there in the middle of the park. Pass to from Malik Chow into feet from Bruno. He'd got loads of time. Totally miscontrol that. Again, that's that tension I was telling you about, when the body's just not able to bring the ball under control, and yet you look at all the Spaniards here. Well, sorry, I can't call them Spaniards, Catalans. And they look so good on the ball, technically. You know what I mean? They just play so differently to us, don't they? And that's it. That's half time.
Yeah.
So what? I'll let you have your thoughts, Paul Morris. Thank you, mate. Let me hear Boki say. Go on, I'll let you do this one, kiddo.
Please let me hear Spooky say. Paul said that big Dan Burn at the. Oh, sorry, I've lost it. Just get the comment back up, mate. That'll be a sec. Please let me hear Bogey say, Paul said, big bad Dan Burn at left back post. Must be the best attacking left back about. Ha ha ha. See, it'll be before it's all changed. No, I've got to say, for that goal, big Dan Burn was absolutely brilliant. Absolutely amazing. That was, as I say, probably the best headed goal I've seen in years.
I agree. I've just realised what's the matter with my dog. The fireworks. He's got his head, like his nose, like under my leg now. Bless you. Come on, you'll be all right, matey. You don't realise how it affects animals, do you? These fireworks. It is hopefully, only a couple of days a year.
Hopefully, this has been done now.
Well, to be fair, Diwali was worse than tonight. Diwali was crazy. Which was a few weeks back, and it was literally, I thought my windows was going to go through. It was crazy. Thoughts on the first half? I mean, yeah, sorry, I keep saying Catalan, don't I? The Basque. Thanks for that one, Cuffy. I tell you,
Jesus Christ, we can't get anything right, can we?
Well, like I said, for me, no chance. I have to literally have my tattoo now of my name printed somewhere. Half-time ratings from the Chronicle. This will be an interesting one. It always makes me laugh when I look at the Chronicle's half-time, because I sometimes think they watch a different game to us. So let's have a quick look at what they've penned in. I mean, I'm sure Dan Burn will be on a 9. Let's have a look. Nick Pope 7, Kieran Trippier 8, Malik Chow 8, J7. Only a 6. Sven Botman a 7. Dan Burn an 8. Bruno Guimaraes 6. Sandro Tonali 6. So the three midfielders is, like I said, where we are looking a little bit unstuck a little bit because of the obviously high press and the high competitiveness of the Basques. I'll get that one in. And it just proves, that all three of them aren't firing because they're not allowed to fire under the system that Valverde's put out. Anthony Gordon 5, Harvey Barnes 7, and Nick Vultemada 5. He's not had the service. How can you put a player down and mark him down so poorly when he's not really had the service to play with? So that's an interesting one.
Gary, can I give two arguments to that point?
Yeah.
Two tall lads. Baltimore, I think, should be a 6-7. And Dan Byrne, I think, should be a 9. I think he's had a class first half. It's the best I've seen him play at left back forward.
Yeah. There's a lot of disgruntlement in the chat, and I couldn't understand why. But I think what we can't discredit is the fact that they're here to spoil things. They're not allowing the midfield to get hold of the ball. They're not allowing the game to flow, if you like, because they're the high press. It's man-to-man marking at times. But because it's man-to-man, that should allow, and we've seen it, we've seen it on the ball across field where there's players that can get into space and open these guys up if we play the right ball. And there's been some really nice right-to-left balls to Anthony Gordon, who I think should have done better. Now, if he's been carrying this muscle strain, that's obviously now popped because he missed that opportunity, and obviously he's gone down and said to himself, I'm injured, I'm coming off. He needs to go and bury his head in the sand, if I'm honest with you, because like I say, he was the one that was, causing us more problems ourselves than we were going forward. So I'm hoping now we can settle down a little bit. If they can produce the same intensity in the second half, it's going to be difficult. But this is when Eddie Howe needs to be cute, and he needs to say to his players, well, if they're man marking, go a bit higher. Go and take them on a bit of a run. Just get them out of the game. Drop 2 in and go and play with a 10 or a high 8, if you like. And give them a bit of a dance, because all you're doing there is taking the pressure off the other two, because you should always have spare bodies at the back that can step in, especially the likes of Malik Chow, who has the ability quite comfortably to go and sit in that defensive zone and ping balls around. So there should always be bodies. There's no excuse. And I just think sometimes Newcastle are lazy. We sometimes play football in a lazy manner. And what I mean by that is, instead of getting close, Fabian Shaw does a decent job at this, because what Fabian Shaw does, he'll give you an angle and he'll drop off, but he'll give you an angle as an out. What we need is players to come in, get involved in the game sometimes. When you've got Botman and Chow in the side, sometimes they both play a similar role. What I'd like to see is one of them coming closer to that midfield to give us that overload, that extra body, if you like, because then it's 4 against 3. And it will free another player up, because somebody's got to come and make a challenge or get a body on him. So, like I said, there is ways around it. I just think Newcastle have to be a little bit sharper on it.
I think sometimes when you're watching the game, Gary, on TV, because obviously the camera's on one side of the pitch, you tend to pick up more on the players who are on that side of the pitch and the faults that they're doing rather than the other side. So I deliberately watched the right side, because obviously we were watching mainly from the left, the right side of our pitch, and there wasn't the same issue going forward. It just seemed every time Gordon got the ball, he was inept at trying to either do anything with it, play it forward. A lot of the time it went backwards. It didn't go forward. The other side was a lot more attacking, and hopefully in this second half, now that we've got Barnes out there, we're attacking that way as well. I think that was the little weak link in the team. And that's not down to any other players. It was simply down to down to Gordon. And, the lad maybe, as you said, maybe a little bit of a blessing if he gets a little bit of time out, just to give him a rest and give him a little bit of time to reflect on how he's been playing.
Yeah, I like I say, for me, I can't disagree with it. I think, like I say, the lad needs a way. He needs, and if we talk about the way he plays in Europe, well, this is Europe. I haven't seen any intensity or any purpose to him playing at all today. If you think about how he plays internationally, like I said, he's stepping up to the mark. But every game's if he wants away in January, every game's the shop window. And like I said, at the minute, all he's doing. Look, at this present moment in time, my thoughts and my thoughts only, Newcastle will be lucky to get the money back on him. That's how bad he's playing.
Could you think of a top 6 side that would want him, Gary, at the minute?
I don't think he would. I don't think there is a top 6 side that would want him. I mean, I know there would talk about Liverpool coming in for him, but like I say, you know, yeah. I can't see at all anybody coming in. You're absolutely right, Foxy. We are very fortunate Bilbao are missing key players because, like I said, even with the players that they've got out, we've created more problems ourselves. And I think with their quality, they would have taken some of the better opportunities that have come their way. And like I say, they've panicked a little bit. Gavin said we should try and get our money back. I think, like I say, you'll be lucky to get your money back, kiddo. I think Trippier and Byrne need huge contracts because of Eddie Howe and the greatest mind of football, says Adnan. Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting one because, like I say, again, you know, you got to think sometimes when do you let players go? Like the likes of Trippier, you know, they're talking about another extension, another 12 months, and like I said, he doesn't look like he's burning anything. And like I say, for me, it's a case of, is there an opportunity for us to get another young gun involved while we've got another 6 months with Kieran Trippier to get some? I'm talking about January, obviously, to get some experience alongside him. But I mean, I wouldn't be, you know, unhappy if Kieran Trippier got another 12 months. I just think there's going to come a time where, unfortunately, your body does go away from you. And I think if I'm honest, I feel as though I'm starting to see that with J7. I think sometimes he looks like he's running too much. Seen 2 Sunday League teams play better than this. You were saying before, though, about obviously when the cameras are close to you. You know, when I used to play, depending on where the manager was, I used to play left back in the first half and right back in the second. Especially if I was the other side of the field, because he used to bark. Stevie Cross, bless him, he's gone now. He was a great manager in his day. Big presence on the field of play, put it this way. And you heard him. If you gave the ball away, you heard your name more than once. Well, I heard my name more than once in the first 10 minutes. Let's have a look at some of the chat then, mate. If anything in there, like I say, there's probably very fortunate. Like I say, I've said that from Foxy. Byrne has scored, but he's making the same mistake, says Adnan Ali. Getting up to the pitch, should stay back. I can't say that one because obviously we are on the radio now. Gordon only good for England. 19 games in Prem, no goals or assists. Think about how long ago he scored. Yeah, I mean, we said that before, didn't we? Hopefully Hollywood coming for Gordon for the next Karate Kid movie. Oh, that's fantastic. Have you starred anything, mate, in the chat while we've been watching? Is there anything there?
I've just starred one there, mate. I'll see if I can show it on screen.
Go for it.
If Sir Bex can be knighted for bendy kicks, surely Big Dan Byrne is a shoe-in for a knighthood as well with that header at the back post. Completely agree with that.
I mean,
why doesn't he do it more often? Was the big question is, and this isn't calling him. I think it's because he doesn't get the chance a lot of the time.
I mean, to be fair, you know, you do look at some of these players that they're up against. I mean, you look at Dan Byrne; he's another shoulder and head above most of them. So I do think, like I say, if you think of the free run, it was very similar to Uno Gomez when he had a free header for Athletic. Well, where's he come from? You know, where's the marker? And that was like Dan Byrne. Dan Byrne just ghosted around the back stick, and it was a free header. Would he have got that purchase if he was under a challenge? Then potentially not. And that's what I said. You know, Premier League at this present moment in time, they know exactly the players that they need to get, and what they do is they stop the run. And stopping the run sometimes illegally, but if you just stand in the way, you have always got a chance. Why is Ramsey not getting a chance? Well, that $64 million question, mate. I don't know.
I cannot say why Ramsey is not, why he hasn't started this game. I don't understand. J7, but to be fair, J7 had that chance when he got forward and he did bring the ball down well and things like that. He did handle it and miss completely, but
That's right.
he did that. But he's not offering a lot in midfield now. I think the time is to maybe bring somebody new in, and we bought Ramsey to do that. Give the lad a chance would be my answer.
Yeah, I like it. It's like we saw it with Voltemada. Bringing him off at half time against West Ham. He wants to leave some in the locker for tonight. Well, surely the same should be said for the likes of J7. Do we need a stopper in this game? I don't think we do. I think these players are very technical that we're facing today. So let's get a player that can get the ball under control and go for it again. Botman's been good tonight, yeah. I think he has. Tonali and Bruno should be bossing this. You're right, mate. But like I say, different when you're under man-to-man. It's about then, like I said, using your experience and taking these guys on a bit of a run. Taking them out the equation a little bit. Open the midfield up if that's the case. Say to somebody else like Trippier, come and drop into the sixth for me and I'll go out wide. Bring the wide man inside. Just move them around. Because that's when you'll start losing your players. Because as we did against West Ham, you get a little bit confused on where you should be playing. Do I go tall? Do I stay off? And then you get players in the wrong positions and then it's all over. Darren Huckabee.
I think Connor makes a good point there as well. Botman's been good tonight. I think the whole back four's been pretty solid tonight, and in my view, I don't think there's any real complaints about any of them at this point.
No, none whatsoever. Like I said, it's like we could be better, and I think that is like I say, for me, we've delivered some really good things, but we've been testing ourselves at the best of times. Anyway, we're ready to start again. You want commentary the second half, mate?
No, it's you, mate. You saw my hosting skills the other day. I'm not great.
You did well, mate. And we're off. Tonali not kicking it into the corner anymore. We've gone back with Bruno. Over to Dan Burn. Again, it's headed forward up towards Voltemada, who contested and it failed this time. Again, Dan Burn gets up there, but this time can only header it out. But he was under a challenge there, which knocked him off balance a little bit. Did well to keep on his foot, to be fair.
You don't mind that from kickoff, Gary, do you? Seeing the left back push that far forward in regards to getting the ball?
Being a target man. Yeah, exactly. Somebody to aim at. But again, you've got to have the delivery, and I think that's what we've got now with Chow in there and Trips. If they go on the diagonal, it's like Shaw. I mean, every time the ball went back. The only time I get worried about that is if it goes to Pope and Pope tries to pick him out because, you've got more chance of it being picked out of the crowd. Bilbao now with a throw-in deep into the Newcastle half. It's, again, tried to be reversed around the corner there, but again, it's easily picked off from Newcastle. Again, unfortunately, close marking, and it's given to Uno, who gets a shot off, but it's wide of the post. Shot from 20-plus yards there, with no real menace to it. Bit of a grub hunter, as they say. Did well to go on the half-turn, though.
You'd be worried of almost conceding that.
Oh, Christ, yeah. Absolutely.
What's going on here with the goal kick?
What's that, mate?
What's going on with it? Is Pope not taking the goal kicks now?
Well, I think it's this doubling up in the 6-yard box, and because now the ball doesn't have to leave the box to go to that other player, you're overloading. So what they do now is they have the keeper as that second player. So the keeper goes and becomes square, and they can pass it to one another. It's weird now, to be fair, at goal kicks. And like I say, for me, a purist, if you like, you've got to have players that are happy to have the ball that deep into your box. Yeah. And that's where I think we can get a little bit unstuck at times. Again, nicely there by Chow, going tight on Unai Gomez. Gets the run of the ball. It's fell through to Trippier. Trippier on this right side gives it back to Chow, who again seems very happy and comfortable with the ball to feet. Goes squared again to Botman. Botman now looks up, back to Chow. Again, just trying to draw the Athletic Bilbao players. Diagonal ball headed down the line there by Harvey Barnes. A little bit too high, to be fair, that one for Harvey Barnes. He does what the keeper involved. Tonali gives it to Bruno. A bit of space for Bruno for the first time. Feeds in Murphy. Murphy with a cross. It goes all the way through to Harvey Barnes. Harvey Barnes gets it out of his feet. He has a shot, but it's blocked. It's come back to Harvey Barnes. Harvey Barnes has got Dan Burn as a runner. Harvey Barnes jigs it into the box. Yes! J7 has got a one on target. Yes. Great play. I mean, I must admit, Dan Burn keeps that going off Harvey Barnes. He comes to J7. J7 then plays it beautifully into Tonali. Gives it to Bruno, who's got the first time in the match, gets a bit of space, a yard of pace. He goes to Murphy on the right-hand side, then into Harvey Barnes. His first shot's deflected. Harvey Barnes waits, gets that second ball in, and it's delivered beautifully into the centre. And again, there's 2 or 3 plays of Newcastle because of the movement and the way that ball was drilled from right to left. Whether that was meant by Murphy, I'm not sure. But again, there was so much of an overload. 2 or 3 players could have been on the end of that one. Great ball in by Harvey Barnes. 2-0 to Newcastle.
That's such a difference from the left-hand side to see somebody cross a ball like that. He's put a brilliant cross in there.
There you go. We've got an assist from the left-hand side, which is, like I say, seems to be a rarity these days. Brilliant. Great play from Newcastle. I hope you enjoyed that, everybody in the chat. Really nice to see J7 get on the score sheet as well, to be fair, because, like I said, I do love J7. It's not, I feel as though sometimes I'm always against him. I just think we could have better quality in there. But like I say, at times, he does look like a man mountain.
To be honest with that goal as well, if we were still playing with the original left-hand sider, Gordon, do you think he'd have put that ball in? Because I've never seen him cross a ball like that before.
No. He has got it in his locker. He used to do it all the time with Leicester, like I say, because he'd got a couple to aim at. We just don't seem to, at times, have the bodies in the box. And that's why I think Eddie's changed the system a little bit to try and get players closer to the centre pin, which is obviously, whoever's playing Voltamada or trying to hit the ball on the floor there, Voltamada. So it has been a difficult season or 2 with Eddie because, like I say, the systems never really fell for him because, Miggy used to stay wide, run, and sometimes you'd get an end product. But again, most of the time he was running into an alley, if you like. But you knew what you were going to get from him. And at the end of the day, with Murphy, with his distribution now, like I said, that was a ball across the 18-yard line along the floor. Was it meant? I mean, only Murphy will tell you whether he meant that. But what we've got is moving the ball so quickly, left to right. Right to left. You've got something from it because all the players have moved over with play. You know what I mean? So it's a case of that's what we need to do a lot more of in my eyes. It's got to be sharp. It's got to be quick passing. It can't be dilly-dallied because by the time you've thought about it, the chance has gone.
The only thing I would say with that ball from Murphy is it doesn't make sense of him hitting that hard if he was crossing or doing anything different. I think it was a pretty deliberate ball.
Yeah. Like I say, he was the only person. Thank you, matey. Thank you, Matthew. Big up the channel. Thank you, buddy. Trippier now with the throw-in into the feet of Gilmares. First time cross into the box. It's easily headed out by Atletico Madrid. Gomez tries to control it, but again,
well defended,
with the bodies coming back. Yeah, very easy for Newcastle to defend. Pope to Botman. Out to... is that... This is Harvey Barnes. I'm trying to look. I can't see a white bandage, so it's got to be Harvey Barnes. I mean, it comes to something when Harvey Barnes is deeper than your left back. Great ball out to Murphy on this right-hand side. Murphy looks up, plays a delicate ball into the box. And again, it's literally Vivian putting it over his own bar there. Couldn't take any chances with that one.
Gary, this is a lot more controlled in the second half from what?
Yeah, but because they've got to come out now, they have to change tactics.
Yeah,
And that was a great ball.
it
Like I
was.
say, look at J7 again, really driving into that box, into that penalty spot, and that causes so much problems for Atletico Bilbao at the minute. Them late runs from midfield, and again, it's something we don't see regular, isn't it? You know, we don't ever really see a charge, and that's what I want. I want to see some movement into them deeper spaces. Start moving that midfield around a bit. And if you look there, I was just looking at the replay of that one before the corner kick. Both Bruno and J7 had left Tonali on his own, and one of the centre halves had come into that 6. So
Yeah.
obviously Eddie's got me on speed dial. Shot! Oh! Thought Voltemado was got his head, or Botman had got his
Was
head
that
to that
Burn
one.
again at the other post?
Yeah, who headed it back in? Yeah.
Yeah.
Dan Burn just heads it back into the danger zone into Botman.
He's having a hell of a game the day, Burn. Hell of a game.
Chalk and cheese from the weekend, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy.
I'm quick enough to call him out, but I'll stand up for the lad if he's having a great game, and this has been a great game from him so far.
But again, you know, you're talking about players that have probably never really competed on a week-to-week basis with guys of this height. I mean, I'm not saying they're all small in La Liga, but they play totally different football. It's all really, you know, floor-bound, isn't it? Where, you know, we are. It seems as if we have gone a little bit old school at times because we go long, you know, we go across. That was the second Burns good, Bokey. Paul Morris is on you, mate. He's got your card tonight.
Paul, you've won us. You know, if you and Sheila buys a new card, I'll happily have Dan Burn at left back all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, this is what I said. You know, when you start moving bodies, well done, Malik Cheb again. Goes one way, brings it the other. Not the two players I would have scoring tonight, lol, says Ian. You're absolutely right, buddy. Thanks for that one, buddy. And again, you know, when you think about it, it's nice to be seeing goal scorers from other areas rather than depending on Voltemada to keep bagging you one.
I've got 4-0 as well, so I need another 2.
Yeah, well, I'm happy with another 1. I've got to catch Benjamin and Levi up. They're flying at the minute. Good ball again over the top. Again, look at J7, the tallest player. He's certainly, Eddie Howe has certainly switched it a little bit. Trying to move those bodies in the midfield to try and free up a bit more space for Bruno and Tonali to get involved. Well done, lad. I wonder whether I can get a job. Anyway, Bruno now with the ball. Got a bit of space again, just 30 yards out, dinks it into Harvey Barnes. Harvey Barnes, quick feet, gets it away from the challenge of Arezzo. Brings the ball back inside to Bruno. Bruno now gives it to... Oh, my days! I thought that would have been the niche. That would have been the niche of tonight, wouldn't it? With Dan Burns scoring a scorcher into the net.
That would have been me. That would have been
great
me
ball as well.
That would have been me having to resign.
Great ball, great positioning from the fullback. It's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic play.
Gary, we look so much better down that left-hand side now than we did in the first half.
Well, this is what I said. Once you take your problem away, you know, it becomes balanced. And I think that's it. You know, you're reliant on one player all the time, which we were with Anthony Gordon. That was your out. If he's not controlling it for you and giving it back, it becomes a problem. And it's a problem, like I say, Eddie Howe's got to be stronger at. Oh, referee, that's got to be a yellow. Come on, Perry, you say. Keep your head, son. Keep your head. Yeah, acoustic bandits there. Put it into the box, Dan.
I don't mind Voltemada showing a little bit of passion because I think over the when he's first started, he's been quite like relaxed and quite charming. I think actually showing a little bit of, you know, sort of, and having to get your other players involved to calm him down is a good sign to see from him. It shows that he's got the passion for the team now.
Yeah. I mean, like I say, I think he's enjoying his time. There was a cracking. Have you seen that Big Nick's tour? It's on my phone. Have you seen it?
I think I have.
No, it's fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. Tonali now with the ball in towards that back stick again. Harvey Barnes. Barnes tries to play it in, and it's into. Oh, Malik Chow was just trying to play in Bruno there. It comes back from Malik Chow towards J7. Picked off this time from Bilbao, who again under pressure. Kick it out of play.
Again, Gary, we look so much better down this left-hand side.
It's been small tweaks. Yeah, it's been small tweaks. But again, look how high the lads are from midfield. Instead of dropping into the centre circle now, they're staying higher up the field. Now it's up to Bilbao to chase. Do I go or do I stay? And because they're half committed to the cause, it's allowing us to pass through those lanes that they're committing. You know what I mean? And giving up a good ball in Trippier inside as well towards J7. Then into Bruno, who plays it out to Harvey Barnes, who's got a lot of space to work. Harvey Barnes plays it inside to J7. J7 looks up, sees Murphy with a bit of freedom, plays diagonal. Murphy with a first time looped cross. And it's half cleared back to Tonali into J7 again. A little bit of pressure this time, building up from Newcastle. Dan Burn out to Harvey Barnes. Out on that left-hand side. Dan Burn goes on the outside, brings it back inside to Bruno. Quick out of his feet. There was a give and go. Bruno was blocked there. Referees allowed to continue. Newcastle give the ball back, but again, it's cheaply given back to Newcastle from Bilbao. Botman doing well, gives it into Bruno, back to Chow, now to Trippier. Trippier in the centre circle. Again, just playing it simple, giving everybody 5 minutes. Trippier saying, calm it down, lads. Botman. Burn. Again, just walking back into position, and Newcastle seem to have been total control at this present moment in time. In the 59th minute, Newcastle 2, Athletic Bilbao 0. Or Athletic Club Bilbao. Again, just Bruno going to ground. Oh, very good.
I'm liking this performance in the second half.
Oh, we are total control, mate. It is, again, chalk and cheese from the first half. And like I said, one player coming off. Man City are 3-0 up now against Dortmund. Looking some strange.
Go on, lad.
Say half a chance there for a minute, but again, it's cleared by Bilbao.
We just
Botman and Chow outstanding tonight. Well, and like I said, it's a partnership for me that should be there for some seasons, mate. We could actually win the UCL, says Colton.
We just look so comfortable in the second half. It's unreal. Sort of the difference from the first half when we're losing the ball all the time.
Dan Burn, he's enjoying life down that left-hand side tonight.
I'm enjoying Dan Burn down the left-hand side the day. I don't know what's going on.
Him and Tonali having a give and go there. I mean, look at that. 305 to 145. 62%. Ridiculous stats when you think about it. But I mean, this is Newcastle at home in the Champions League. We just seem to be a different animal. But again, you've got to pick the right players.
We've got to carry this performance into the Premier League now as the top and bottom of it. We've got to, we're looking at the positives, and you can see where the positives are. We need to carry this into Premier League games.
Absolutely. I mean, like, to me, it's just 2 tweaks. One going off, which is a tweak that happened all by himself. Like I say, he just didn't want to run the cause anymore by the looks of it to me. Because he walked off without grimacing. And like I say, if you've got an issue in that area, you're sometimes holding your groin area or something like that. But he walked off without a grimace, so I don't know whether he'd just lost that fight with himself, if I'm honest with you. J7 now feeds a good ball down into Harvey Barnes. Harvey Barnes on his left foot, trying to get back onto his right foot, losing a bit of balance, to be fair, Harvey Barnes, and that is well fought back by Areso. But again, Areso's really poor and gives the ball straight back to Tonali, who gives it to Burn, plays it back out to Harvey Barnes. Bruno now, again, drops the shoulder, he's in the mood this second half, Bruno. Getting a little bit more space because he's gone a bit further forward. Ball in to Dan Burn. He's staying up there this time. He's not letting it go. He's going to get a nosebleed if he goes any higher. The altitude's a little bit less up there, mate. Yeah, look, everybody's telling the Bilbao players now to calm down because they're shouting for everything.
Yeah.
Newcastle definitely getting under the skin of Bilbao. The crowd are telling Byrne to shoot. Or, you said shout. I hope. I'm going to say thanks, Beck, because I'm sure that you meant shoot. Can you imagine if he scored a 35-yarder from an angle? The crowd would be uproar, wouldn't it?
I think I will get some slagging off in the chat.
A big smile on Big Shearer's face there, look. He's loving it too.
It's been such a nice performance in the second half. It's just, I don't know what you feel, Gary, but I just feel comfortable now. It's not a worry.
Absolutely. Bilbao haven't been in the side in the second half really at all, mate. You know, they've not caused us any trouble, and you can see by the amount of percentage and passing that we've had complete. I mean, that's some header.
That's a hell of a goal. Like, that is a hell of a goal.
I mean, even Shearer's smiling at that one because I don't think he scored one like that.
Just for the people that are listening, the showing repeats of the goal, and the night you have to, if you're not watching the match live, you've got to watch that goal, because that is one hell of a goal.
Yeah, it was some goal. A couple of changes coming our way. Young Hall is coming on. I think that must be for Dan Byrne, giving Dan a rest. Well deserved. Ilanga coming on as well, so that's going to be an interesting one. They're going to bring Harvey Barnes off.
Is that Murphy as well?
Or are they throwing Ilanga through the middle like we thought for Voltamada? It's going to be an interesting one.
I hope they don't bring Barnes off, because I think this has been one of his best games.
Oh, me too. I hope Barnes stays on, because like at the minute he's got the measure.
Yeah.
And like I said, for me, he should have been Ilanga from the outset. So, but I hope he has a go up front. I really do. I mean, I love Voltamada, but I wouldn't risk, Well
done, Big Dan Byrne.
Yeah, fabulous, mate. Lewis Hall coming back into the fray.
I wish we could slightly hear the crowd just to see what the reaction is.
What the reaction is, yeah. Exactly. Yeah, like I said, it's nice to see Hall back in though. It really
100%.
is. Like I said, take it easy. Don't go mental. Like I said, there should be no reason to go mad.
Good decision as well, Bruno coming off.
Yeah, Bruno coming off, because like I say, he's been suffering a little bit, and young Miley coming on. Again, nice to see him. Oh, he's Barnes.
And it is Barnes. I'm a bit disappointed with that, Gary.
Me too. Because like I say, yeah. But again, I want to see Ilanga.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? I want to have I want him to have a real blast at this Arezzo to see if we can get something going. Because at the minute, like I say, he's not really giving us anything on that right-hand side. So if he can give us something on that left-hand side, it gives options.
Yeah.
So three changes for Newcastle. Miley's on for Bruno. Hall on for Big Dan Byrne. Potentially man of the match, as daft as it looks. Tonali looking down the wing for Ilanga's first touch. Voltamada's still on the field of play. Interesting. I would have definitely thought that was going to be Voltamada's last episode, but Lewis Hall there on the ball.
Yep, I think Byrne might get Hope's 3 stars.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Quite rightly so.
Yeah. Atletico Madrid now playing the ball down into that right channel. Again, Botman doing enough to stop, and it goes out for a goal kick. Really superb performance from Botman and Chow, if I'm honest with you. Looked head and shoulders more improved, and like I say, involved in the game a lot more. Don't look out of position. And like I said, you can say, are they covering for Dan Byrne? It's the same game today, isn't it? They've played in exactly the same way. But the difference is Botman's gone over the left-hand side a little bit more, where I think against West Ham he was more central. And again, I don't know whether that was because of the way West Ham was set up. He wasn't 100% to craft. So it was a case of, if you're not trusting left and right back, where do you stay central just to try and support your keeper? First touch for Ilanga, out of his feet, and he's got the burners going. Can you keep the ball though? Yeah, I don't think he's done it. No, ball goes out of play.
You don't mind that though as a one as the first thing that he's done in regards to he's trying to push forward.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He's been very positive in trying to get something going there.
And I think it's obvious him and Hall haven't played much together because Hall was making the same sort of run, which didn't really work.
Yeah. There you go. J7 just bringing that ball out of. Ooh, I thought he was going to get something from that, but it's come back for Botman now. Gives it nice and short to Chow. Did he go back to Pope? Yeah, he do in the end. Pope gets it out of his feet and goes long. And then trying to pick out Murphy, but Murphy gets caught out there. Tonali with a good head into Botman. Botman tries to play a ball into J7, but again, the easier ball was Hall. Well done, Miley. Sees the danger, cuts it out and gives it to Lewis Hall. Hall now with a bit of space, gives it into Alanga. Alanga inside to J7. J7 sees Hall's run, but again, the referee has seen the pull on Alanga, and there's going to be a yellow card for Areso, I think.
Gary, I don't know how you feel, but with the back two, the back centre backs that we've got now, in the past, there's always been a little bit of a butterfly in your stomach whenever you see the ball going forward towards you. Now it's not calm, but it's but we don't have to worry too much because these two lads have got it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, like I say, it just seems so much more improved. It's uncanny. It really is.
I know Wynne disagrees, but I honestly think these two have got the best chance to be the top Premier League defenders, central defence in the league for the next 5-6 seasons.
Yeah. Serrano's on for them, so they've got another player up top. I'm not sure who the other player is that's come on. So I would imagine Serrano will go over to the right-hand side. Navarro and Jarageza, whatever his name is, and Sanchez has come on.
Joe Linton again with a chance there.
With a chance, yeah, another half chance. So just showing you the yellow card there against Simon. Just delaying his pass. It goes towards the centre circle. It's easily picked off this time by Tonali. Tonali goes on the diagonal. Again, Voltamada gives it back to Tonali. And Tonali tries to bring in Alanga. It was on the half run, but again, Areso just heads that back to Simon.
Gary, again, is this game proving what we've said all season, that the Premier League is so much stronger than other leagues? And when we're coming into the Champions League and you're playing teams like this, we're just so much better than them, is the problem.
I think the problem is with Athletic Bilbao. I mean, you look at the percentage and stuff like, 63% ball possession, 7 attempts, 4 on target to their 5 attempts, 1 on target. I think, you have got to be careful, and I think we were a bit nervous in the first half. It looked like we were making crazy mistakes. It was like, when you're under pressure, it was too close comfort. And the lads should be used to that in the Premier League, because you don't get the time and the opportune on the ball. And that's why I couldn't understand why we looked as nervous as we did. And we saw, even the likes of Bruno, simple ball into feet and the ball bounced off him 5 yards. And you're like, why can't you just bring that under control? You're a Brazilian international. That should be a chalk and cheese ball. And it just proves how tight they are when it comes to just simple football. And that's just relaxing with the ball. And when you're under that much pressure and scrutiny, and I think that is the word, they're under pressure from the 53,000 fans that are in that stadium. Because the performance at West Ham just wasn't on. And like I say, the crowd, as much as they support, they also let you know if you're having a bad game. And they will always support you. And that's what I love about Newcastle, and I always have, is the fact that it doesn't matter what it's like, they will always support you. Bit of pressure from Atletico.
Oh,
There's a shot there.
good
Pope
save,
had to
Toby.
stretch for. Yeah. A shot from 30 yards. Murphy swings one out to that centre circle, trying to get a Langard on his towers, but again it's cleared or half cleared. Lewis Hall there with a nice run.
Oh,
Ball comes away from the mid. Lewis Hall is saying that he didn't touch the player. Player went down in the middle there, and the referee's given a free kick to Atletico. But it was a good shot, all of 30 yards. Pope had to be on. That's that Serrano who's just come on the field of play. Good shot from Serrano, to be fair.
I mean, it's a save you'd expect him to make, but it was done well.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, it bounced just in front of him as well, which is always more awkward. There you go, press from Tonali there. Look, I love the way he presses from midfield. Chow just looks so much more confident on the ball. Hall now. Again, big up to Miley there because, like I say, he had a player right on his back and he just plays it into Botman's feet. First time, doesn't try anything fancy. Chow down the line now, trying to get Murphy in line. Ball goes back to Trippier. Trippier inside to Voltemada on the halfway line. Voltemada again, 3 bodies around him, and he's given to Bilbao on that one. Throw in. Vivian on the halfway line for Bilbao. Arezzo. Squared on to Paredes. Again, 2 of their back 4 on a yellow card, and I don't think they've put enough pressure on. That was me on West Ham, with Anthony Gordon. The first 5 minutes, you go out and attack their fullback, get him on a yellow card for a mistimed challenge, but he doesn't do it again. It seems as though he let him off the hook. But he didn't put him under pressure not to make a challenge or anything like that. When you've got players on yellow cards, that should be targets. You should be saying, right, go and really get on him. Go and get past him with the ball a couple of times because he can't challenge you anymore.
Gary, I'm going to call it out. I think this game's been a lot better since Gordon went off for us.
Oh, 100%, mate. 100%. Like I say, we've got balance now.
Yeah. And I have to say as well, how many times has Chow lost the ball playing it forward? I can't remember really one. He's immense in defence, and his outward balls are brilliant.
Yeah, unlucky Lewis Hall there. Again, it's so nice to see him dancing past a couple of players. Looks so balanced, and again, it's nice to see lads covering his back when he's gone forward. So, well done, J7 there. Again, that's all about communication, and it's something that, again, against West Ham, just didn't happen. When players go and make a run to try and break lines, then just fill in for them. That's what being a squad's all about.
This must be the most frustrating thing of being a manager is how the hell can we put in this sort of performance today and put in a performance against West Ham at the weekend?
It's called Champions League and Premier League.
I know, but it's chalk and cheese though, isn't it? It's such a different game that we're watching tonight than we did against West Ham.
Yeah, mate, like I said, it's as frustrating for Eddie Howe, trust me. Bless him, Walter trying to keep that in play and loses his footing. It's as frustrating for Eddie Howe as it is for fans watching it, because he can't give you an answer either. You can't understand as a coach where that type of performance goes and comes from. And like I said, the only thing for me, there's a chance there.
Well done, Popey.
Again,
well
Botman
done, Burn. Botman, sorry.
I'm going to say. I'm hoping it ain't Burn because he's off. But again, he's playing. I mean, Botman was last man there, so he had to make contact with that ball because he played everybody on. And Unai Gomez is just trying to get on the blind side of him, but Botman just stands his ground.
Calm defending, that wasn't it?
Yeah, it does really well, to be fair. Simon now with Atletico. Again, struggling really, Atletico, just trying to build anything of any stature. It's like I say, I would say it's negative because it ain't negative. It never is from a Spanish side. But it just seems, like I say, just seems as though they're void of ideas.
But Gary, I think a lot of that's down to us. The way we're playing.
Oh, absolutely. I think they threw everything in the first half. They threw the gauntlet, the kitchen sink, and everything. And like I said, Foxy's already said, can you imagine what it would have been like playing with all their players in this side? It would have been a different game, mate, to be fair.
Yeah.
Garazabel and Hero is on.
But I suppose the flip side of that, imagine that we'd started with Paul and Tino at left and right back. They would have been under a hell of a lot more pressure in the first half.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. It's Garazabel. He'll come in at right back, and I'm thinking that other lad must be a centre forward. Don't know him at all. Hierro.
Sorry, guys, if there's any banging, that's me in the background. It's the fireworks going off.
That's me in the background. Unfortunately, my voice isn't the same as Wynn's. I've got a voice that'll sink ships. Well done, Lewis Hall. Lovely ball into J7. J7 tries to release. Ilanga's got the afterburners on. Just couldn't wrap his left foot round it to keep it in play. Goal kick to
Gary. We've
Bilbao.
got to utilise that moving forward. That lad had the left back had 10 yards, a few yards on him there, and he just blasted past him.
Yeah, Garazabel isn't blessed with speed. That's why he didn't start today against Gordon.
Uh-huh.
And he's a good player, I think, Garazabel. I mean, he's not a bad player, but like I say, he's not built for speed. He's built for love. I just hope he doesn't wear the basques. Trippier now with this right hand side. Again, Bilbao just closed down again. Just go back to Simon and again closed down by Tonali. He's our number 6, and yet he's the furthest forward. He covers so much ground, that lad. And again, pressed from the midfield with Walter Marder there, always looking to get the ball out. And again, that's poor play from Athletic Club. Ball goes out of play.
No, I know we're struggling on the bench, Gary, but I think Baltimore could do with a little rest here. He could maybe do with something.
Yeah, like I said, for me, you've got a Langer there. You're 10 minutes in. Go and put, I'm going to put J7 there. I'd go and put Ramsey in on that left-hand side.
Yeah.
Excuse me for coughing down the mic. Throw, like I say, Ramsey in the left-hand side. Go and throw a Langer through the middle. He's not going to cause you any harm.
No.
You're not throwing that much of an imbalance on there. I wouldn't lose J7 out in the middle of the park because at the minute, J7's having a very good impact in that midfield. He's allowing Tonali to move on now. Miley's in the back, in the mid 3. So you've got that. You've got the big 2 players there. Tonali now got a bit more of a free role because all of the Bilbao players have stepped off him. So it's a very open game now. So this is the time where you try and exploit the positions in front of you. So yeah, I would definitely go with that one. Murphy trying to be a bit of a trickster. Loses the ball that time in the centre of the park. Again, lovely ball over the top from Bilbao, but it's easily sourced from Botman there. Again, Voltemada just trying to run off the back of Biro. Ball over the top there. Again, looking for Bilbao. Player to run onto that. Again, Berringer just trying to ghost off the shoulder of Trippier. Again, who's had a good game, if I'm honest with you, Trippier. He's been pretty solid. Here we go. Ramsey coming on.
Be interesting to see who that's for.
It's got to be for Voltemada.
You'd hope so.
Voltemada looks knackered now. Nice give and go. Some nice one-touch football.
Oh, what a ball.
God, what a ball that is from Miley.
Oh,
Miley
go on.
puts a ball through. for Murphy. Backstick. Oh, the two got in each other's way there, Elanga and Voltemada. Why did you get in each other's way?
That was beautiful.
I mean, that was fantastic football, wasn't it?
It was.
I don't know whether he was offside, to be fair. He may have just sneaked offside. But it was a really good ball to the back stick. Voltemada, Garazabel and Elanga all going for the same ball. And Elanga eventually gets it. And I think it must deflect up off Garazabel, but I don't think it's given... Yeah, there you go.
It is Voltemada coming off.
Voltemada, yeah, it's got to be. Not had the bestest games, to be fair.
I was going to say, I can't remember him having much of an impact on the game at all, really.
But like I said, the stuff that he's done unselfishly. And I think sometimes, you know, you can't buy that.
No.
You cannot buy that.
There's no player that's had a bad game apart from maybe Gordon. I think they've all played really well.
Yeah, it looks like Elanga's come through the middle. J7's out on that left-hand side now, and Ramsey's sat in the pocket, vacated by J7. So, fingers crossed, you can get him involved really quickly. Again, poor ball, Miley now with a chance to get the ball over the top. It's just a little bit too long. Simon nearly lost his area. He manages to keep it inside the lines. Again, throws it out to Byro. Kicks it up in the air and the advance of Trippier. Miley again trying to get that ball back, but it's fell nicely for Bilbao. Bilbao tries to throw it forward to Serrano. And again, driving forward now, Bilbao with a few numbers on that right-hand side. Ball into the box towards the penalty spot, and again, just headed clear by Hero. I need a hero.
They need a hero.
Osserman a hat-trick. Foxy Saint. Wow.
I hope we get somebody on the night, Gary, after the match on the chat, just talking about someone who was at the match, just to hear what the atmosphere was like.
Yeah, I mean, I love to get. That's what I love. While Wynn gets back in the taxi early and he gives you that insight of how the ground was. It may always be one-sided, you know what I mean, with Wynn. But you do see a different game when you're at the match.
100%.
On the TV.
It's when you can watch different players. That's the difference. You're not sort of focused in on one player, the player that.
Well, you're just not following the ball, are you? Because that's what you usually do when you're at live matches. You're just following the ball.
Because as I say the other week, I watched Bruno a lot, and he's a great player, but you don't see him often, as I say, having to go with players on the pitch when things are going wrong as a captain. And that's something that you can only really notice if you're at the match.
Yeah. I mean, it's Trippier who has a go more at the players than anybody else on the park. And that's what I said. It seems, like Bruno does it more with ability, if you like. He tries to throw it out there with, I will give you everything as a captain.
Leads by example.
By the example, exactly. Don't always shine, though, does he? You know what I mean?
No.
So, like I say, the drop-off was there for all to see. And when you've got nobody on the park who's willing to get the boot in, if you like, and get stuck into players for not producing the goods, then it can get a bit stale and away from you. And it did against West Ham.
100%.
Ball over the top, looking for Garazabel. Lewis Hall, though, manages to keep it in and plays the ball down to J7. J7 with a dink up towards Elanga. Elanga tries to keep it in play, but again, it's a poor ball from Elanga and puts us under a bit of pressure.
Come on, lads.
Shot was deflected there from Serrano. Trippier. Again, trying to play the glory ball. There was no need for that. A chance here again. Oh, good save from Palpi down to his left that time from Serrano.
Gary, there's no real need for this late in the game. We should be controlling it now.
It's just been, like I said, the percentage ball out from Trippier there. If you're going to go long. Just get it up in the air and go long. There is no need to try and feed a ball through bodies because the chances of you receiving the ball back is percentage, and it's usually against you.
In the words of the great man, I'll not swear, hoof it.
Yeah. Get rid of it. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, even if you put it into touch, halfway line, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Regroup, reset. And that's something that Newcastle very seldom do well when they're deep in their own half. Popey punches this time. Comes through a number of bodies and looks like there's a collision of heads here, but Tonali's down. Tonali's got a whack on the back of the head. I don't know whether that was from Popey or I don't know who that player is, to be fair, from Bilbao. Does well there, Popey, to be fair.
He did, but again...
He's got to take the players out.
He did, and this time he's punched it sideways rather than straight into the middle of the pitch.
Yeah. Because you literally have to be brave in them situations. Yeah, Tonali gets...
He had no choice. I think the game the other day had a choice whether to punch or catch. He had no choice there. And when he's punched it, he has punched it in the right direction. He's punched it away into an angle.
Yeah. But that's... I'm just looking at that goal again from Byrne. I mean, it is some goal. And that ball from Harvey Barnes is spectacular as well because, like I say, there ain't that much grass for Harvey Barnes to get that delicate chip in, you know.
Winning a game with two headers as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Something we've been lacking massively with, isn't it?
100%. And as you say, Burns, I mean, Burns' goal was class. It was brilliant. And we were both calling J7 out, but again, his goal, he was in the right place and he buried it well.
He took it well. Yeah, he took it well because he used his neck muscles in that one. He made sure that ball was going into the back of the net. I mean, you know, that's what I said. I hate calling J7 out because I actually like him. I think he's one of those players that you've got to love him. The problem is with J7, you unless his game, his head's on the game, he looks clumsy at times. And in the middle of the park, you want somebody to put your foot on the ball, to control the ball, to change the tempo of the ball, you know, the play a little bit. Lewis Hall looks phenomenal at the minute. I tell you, he's just put that ball across to Malik Chow there. I mean, Malik Chow has lost it in the centre, but he's ghosted past two players and then played a square ball to Malik Chow. He's under pressure, Lewis Hall. And it's like, it's just too easy for him. I mean, what a difference that lad will make in this side. Barrow plays the ball up to Berenger, who, to be fair, has gone completely off the ball. I did call Berenger's name at the start, but he's not blew me frock up at all in this game, I must admit. But again, we've probably been saved a little bit because they did swap him away from Dan Byrne and put him on the left-hand side, which is his natural position because he's very much likes to come in on his stronger foot.
Gary, I don't think these are anybody's mugs. If watching the game today, they're a good team, and against other teams, they will win. I think we've played them well, and we've done well to get to where we are in this game with the 2-0 scoreline.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, you take your chances when they come, and like I say, the one thing you could say is Newcastle haven't created that many clear-cut chances. But what they've given you, they've put away. You know, it's like I said, when it was very against us, you go and score the goal, and it takes a little bit of the oomph away from the opposition. You know what I mean? And then you know, sometimes I think you can hurt an opposition team so much more if they're on top and you get a goal. And that's what I thought about West Ham when we got that breakaway goal. I thought, oh, that is it. You know, we are in the driving seat now because these will collapse. And it was the other way around. It was as if, well, we've done the work now. We don't need to do anything else. You know, we just... It reminded me so much of the Fulham game last year where we just couldn't get going at all. Very, very, you know, not an Eddie Howe type of side whatsoever with a high intensity of the press. And I know that type of game has gone now from Eddie Howe. But you still need the effort. You know, you still need the people to actually want to win. And like I say, for me, it looks so much like they are playing for the Champions League to go as far as they can.
Gary, as a coach, is there anything the West Ham game taken that into consideration? Is there anything you can do when you see that happening on the pitch?
It's hard. That's what I said.
What do you do?
It's apart from having wholesale changes, and like I said, tonight was, and again because it was probably Atletico, they've probably decided to go with the tried and trusted. But the only thing you can do as a coach is take them out the team and say, like, that performance is not acceptable. You're out. And I think because of the precarious position, if you like, because I think Eddie Howe also understands that being in that middle group where you've got more games ahead of you, he wants to be in that top group of the UCL, because that you're qualified and it's done, it's out the way. You can concentrate then on the Premier League, but that's what I was saying about leaving stuff in the locker room, because there ain't anything a coach can do, mate, apart from drop players, because nobody can justify it.
Yeah.
Nobody can justify it, and that's what I said. When everybody's coming up with excuses throughout the whole team, and that's why I mentioned about Eddie Howe saying about the bug. It just shows a little bit of a blanket over the problem.
Yeah.
The problem was if you've still got lots of players that haven't got the bug that didn't perform, so you've got to question that too.
Just for the guys to know, there's not much happening in the match now. We've got 5 minutes of overtime. And we're 3 and a bit minutes into it, so it's basically we're just playing the game out at the minute.
Yeah, it's got a bit stale at the top end. I mean, to be fair, the lads aren't really getting involved high up the park. Quite happily to give Bilbao the ball back in their half, if I'm honest with you. Again, just Trippier there, just trying to anticipate the ball from Berenger. Ball just trying to be guided in with Serrano at the back there with Malik Chow, but Malik Chow again stays strong.
Strength, lad.
Nice simple ball into Botman out to Trippier. Again now Ramsey again showing nice feet. Ramsey there. Pope, don't mess about there, lad. goes long, as long as he could at the time. Again Berenger down this left hand side. Get out close to him. Get out. Don't put your bloody. You see, that drives me insane as a manager when they stop playing because they're expecting a decision to be made for you. Nothing's been gone, nothing's been made, so get on with the game and then let the referee and the linesman deal with that. You can't make decisions.
Yeah. Oh, don't you limp Tonali?
Yeah, Tonali got a bit of a whack on the Achilles tendon there. That's it.
Well done, lads.
Excellent game of football, I suppose. Well managed in the end, and that's all you're asking for, isn't it? You can't ask for any more than what the lads have given us. We've ended Newcastle 2 at home at St James's Park, which again, in the Champions League, it seems to be becoming the fortress. Lots of good results at home. Away form is different. Please, thank you so much, everybody in the chat. We are going straight over to the preview. You can come and join us there. Give us your thoughts on what you've seen today. Like I say, I've been reading in the chat. There's still not everybody's happened, I can say, but I must admit it's been a lot better this game. A lot more to talk about in the positive vibes, and I want to just throw a nice shout out there to a couple of people if I can. Thank you so much, matey, and Ian Fleming, Paul Morris. Thank you so much for throwing us some super chats. And like I say, come and join us in a second on the preview of what's going on. Anything before we go, Boki?
No, I think you've summed it up greatly. Excellent performance. Good to see we're back on a win, and I think again we need to use this to move forward. We need this to be the performance that sets one of the massive run that we all want to be on.
Yeah. I mean, like I say, you can't complain. I mean, like I said, I'm hoping it's going to be different in the instant match reaction. Now, I'm sure there's going to be people out there that still want to query the first half. I suppose you can, not a problem. But come and join us in a minute on the match reaction, and we'll get your views. Thanks for watching, everybody. And we're the lads.
Lasses and bairns.
Yay! Take it easy. Ciao for now. Where are we? Oh, don't want that. I want that. And then